Chris Evans' penis did not get the attention.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
It's another edition of KFC Radio on the Barstool Sports Network, coming to you we're recording right now on a Monday morning, our first football Monday. Feels terrible.
Feels pretty good.
Feels terrible. I haven't had a sports day like that in a long time.
What do you mean?
So
yesterday, I was at a bar for 16 straight hours on Saturday. So yesterday was like a complete wash for me.
Were you just eradicated?
I watched the Pats, and then I fell asleep during the Bucks.
At the bar?
No. I was at a bar for 16 hours on Saturday.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So yesterday
it
was just like I just laid on the. So
Right.
I don't have any furniture in my apartment yet. Still.
Right.
And I just laid on the floor. I ended up sleeping on the floor last night.
You are a dumpster dwelling trash baby.
I mean, like I was just laying on the floor. I had like a sheet, as if that would matter anything. It's like actually it's my weighted blanket, which is actually shockingly more uncomfortable because it's filled with beads.
Yeah.
So I just laid on it.
It's like laying on
bees.
You are like it's like a teenage mother gave birth to you and threw you away in the dumpster and you survived. And you just lived in the garbage your whole life, and that's where you now dwell. That is crazy.
It was. I slept until like 7 o'clock this morning. The sun woke me up, and then I went to bed after that.
So you went through. So you woke up and watched the Pats, and then went back to bed.
And then once Brady threw his second pick, I was like, "Fuck this game."
Yeah, see you later.
I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah.
And by go to bed, I mean I just close my eyes.
Close your eyes on the same spot on the floor. Well, yesterday was the Jets kickoff. The Mets need to win pretty much like every game, and the Islanders.
What, to make the playoffs?
Yeah. Right.
Give up that dream.
I already did, but the thing, what the Mets are crazy. The Mets have who's going to win his third straight Cy Young.
This is
They have.
He's like what, a 1.4 ERA?
It's like 1.6. He's actually there's actually a couple other guys in the mix this year. Like last year was like no way.
Yeah, I looked at it, but it's like Yu's got like a fairly comparable ERA, but like he's not even close on strikeouts.
Exactly. And then Bauer's the other one, but Bauer is gonna have like a full less start than Jake, which kind of throws everything off. But I think Jake is he's just so fucking consistent. He I don't know what the other guys are gonna do. He's gonna play us 2 or 3 more starts. He's gonna do it every time. So I think he's gonna be 3 straight Cy Youngs. I think they're gonna have 3 guys get legit MVP votes. They have a good team. And they're just terrible.
And they're just bad.
Yeah, I mean, their bullpen's not good, and their rotation doesn't have names, but they've pitched well enough at times. They just with that offense and at least the Cy Young, they should be better than they are, and they're just oh no, they're terrible. It's oh no, you're bad. It's so stupid. They're under 500, which already is
under 500, and we're well, maybe we'll make the playoffs.
Under 500, they've won 4 series the whole year. It's just that's a bad team.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of them. I mean, it is a weird season where everyone in the hunt is 22 and 26. It's a weird season, so it could happen. But I consoled them a long time ago. But I'm all right, listen, anything can happen. Then mathematically, they're only a couple games out. Could happen. Let's go. But they were playing the Blue Jays. They faltered leading into it. I knew they needed to win. And then the Islanders, they lose. They go down 3-1. You're pretty much fucked.
Yeah.
And I woke up, and I knew exactly what was going to happen to a T, 100% precisely how this will unfold. The Jets will have one of their embarrassing bad losses. The Mets they just beat the Blue Jays 17-2, and Jake cruised. I was this is where they bounce back and stink, and that's what happened. And the Islanders, I'm not going to pretend the Islanders broke my heart, but it is just part of the loser culture in New York, and they get their doors blown off, and I never in doubt. Never in doubt. I was making a goddamn Jets video being all right, I'm talking to Jackie. I'm all right, so all 3 of these teams are going to lose, and I'm going to start the morning optimistic, and then we'll see me get miserable. I literally scripted a show based on it because I knew it was going to happen. And, I mean, because this has never happened before. We had playoff hockey, baseball, and football together, and I was of course this will go terrible. And it did. And then I'm why do I do this? What is the point?
I feel so bad for you.
What is the point?
I genuinely feel bad for you.
What is the point?
Because when I have a bad team, I have the Red Sox this year.
Yeah,
and
they always have something to bounce back on, to fall back on.
I also have the New England Patriots, and they're a Jake DeGrom type consistent.
And then, what didn't go well, but even if you wanted to, you're like, and I'll dabble with the Bucks and I can like enjoy that. Even if it doesn't go well, you can enjoy it. I can't even enjoy these things. And everything's getting worse. Like Sam Darnold's getting worse. Sam Darnold's probably a bad quarterback now. I don't think he's a bad quarterback, but I think when you're in that system and your coach is bad and your weapons are bad, and then you start to force things and you get desperate, and then
What is it, third year?
Yeah. It's like this is your it's kind of like time to take the step forward. And if you don't, then what? Like, do you give him an extension? Does he even want to sign an extension with you? I'd want to get the fuck out of here. But by then, he's probably going to have like bad habits and a bad like mental makeup, and you become a bad player. The Jets will make you bad, even if you're not bad. And so round and around we go. And I'm like, the ultimate irony is like the Jets will kill me before I can even make it to the Steve Cohen Mets. Wouldn't that be something if I don't even get to see the Steve Cohen Mets because you find me hanging from the fucking ceiling because of like week 5 of the Jets? I mean, it's going to be a long season if it's like that. And I get to the point where I'm just like, why do I do this? I've been doing it so long. So long. When I was like mid-20s, it was just kind of like, I don't know, this is life. I'm mid-30s now, and it's always the same. It's like I put on the same show every time, and I watch the same ending every time, and it's not what I enjoy. So why do I do it?
I don't have a good answer for you.
Yeah, there is no.
Because there is like...
You know what people say? Do you know what people say? They say, well, when it does happen...
It'll make it better.
It'll make it better. Well, 2 things. 1, it's never going to happen. 2, I think it's beyond that point. I think when it happens, I'll be mad. It's almost like a mom with like their asshole kids and they're being dicks all day long, and then like they do something sweet at the end of the day, like at dinner time, and it's like, well, why couldn't you have fucking done this the last 12 hours? I'm almost gonna be bitter. It's like, oh, so you could have done it this whole time, but you just didn't?
You're capable of feeling like, of acting like not a piece of shit?
Yeah. Where was that the whole time?
But
dicks.
But children are capable of doing that. I don't think the Jets are.
Right.
I don't know that the Mets are. I mean, the Islanders are. Again, you said that it's not like pretend that broke your heart. But also, they're in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah,
Finals.
yeah,
Like,
they've had a good season.
Right.
Yeah, but like also that's part of it is like even when the Mets are good, they like falter at the very end in an embarrassing way. And like even when the Jets made their run, like they blew that game against the Steelers that would have sent them to the Super Bowl. So like even when they're good, they're bad. Even when they're good, they're heartbreaking. So ultimately, there's always heartbreak at the end of the tunnel, at the end of the rainbow. So why do I do it? I'm getting too old. I'm getting too old for this.
So
I'm too old for this.
what else could you possibly do?
Nothing.
Is the question.
I don't have any other interests. I don't have any other hobbies. That's why I just work. And it's just like, well, I have to find something else that is not, you know what the problem is? When you give your emotions over to like something that's completely like fickle, like, I have no control over that. It's not like I'm playing in the games,
I mean,
That's why, you know what
I don't even know what to say to you. Like,
there's no answer.
Because I genuinely
expect
feel
anybody
bad.
to say anything.
Like it's just like, yeah, that sucks. I don't know. Chap seems to like woodworking.
Because you know what it is? It's like if I came to you and I was like, I really don't like my girlfriend, you'd be like, break up with her.
Uh-huh.
But I'm coming to you being like, I don't like my mom and my dad. And it's like, you can't.
That's an accurate analogy, but
Can't pick your family, you know?
it's tough.
Like they were
That
just
hurts to
given
hear.
to me, They were like, and you know what? It's all because of the fucking designated hitter.
What do you mean?
My grandfather was like a Yankee fan. He was born in the Bronx. He was a Yankee guy. He was such a baseball purist that he hated the DH. He was like, fuck this. I'm a Mets fan now. And then so was his daughter, and then so was I. And had I been a Yankee fan, I probably would have been a Giants fan because, all those things just like go hand in hand. So the designated hitter ruined my life. The designated hitter ruined my life.
It genuinely did.
Yep. Stupid fucking rule. It's a dumb fucking rule. That's a stupid fucking rule.
See, that's like almost like my life is very different, but like I'm not Jewish because my great, I think it's 3 grades, grandfather fell in love with an Irish girl, and she was like, no sex before marriage, and also you're gonna become a Catholic. And he was like,
really?
And he's like, all right, fine.
So
fuck
you
it. I just
do
want
have
that
Jewish
good.
family members, but they converted or whatever?
Yeah, we've done this before.
Yeah?
They're Jewish Germans.
Right. The JGs. Those are
And they were okay.
yeah.
Probably the bad ones.
They were still around, so there's only one way that happens. Yeah, like these butterfly effect things, they change it all. But mine is a particularly stupid one where it's like this.
I mean, if I were you, I would rebel against that grandfather and be like, "Fuck it."
Yeah, well,
I mean, you have too much hate for the Yankees in your heart, but
definitely, it's too late now.
It's
way too late.
Definitely
now.
too late. But like,
that's what I mean when people say like, then just stop.
why don't you
it's
become
too late.
a different fan?
It's like, why don't you just pick different parents?
Well,
you just
why don't you
can't
become a
do
Sox
that.
fan? Like you hate the
Yeah.
Yankees.
Well, I basically
I feel
am,
like the
though.
hatred. With the Mets, it's tough with you, but I feel like your hatred of other teams is stronger than your love for.
And that's why I do get some satisfaction out of sports. Like every year in baseball, for the past decade plus, for the last 20 years, other than 2009, I've had a moment in the playoffs where I'm like, yeah, and it's just when the Yankees lose, or when the Patriots lose. So I can enjoy sports, but my hatred for teams is bigger than my love for my teams. But my response when it happens, it's always just like, all right, that's good, but man, I don't, you know what I mean? Like my team still never wins. So I still need that to happen to ever experience happiness. And it's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen.
I mean,
maybe, I don't know. Steve Cohen, I think, takes over today. Literally.
Oh, does he really?
Like literally today.
I honestly
they,
didn't know
transfer.
that was official.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like the majority of I guess the majority of like ownership transfers over, but then it has to be like ratified in November with the owners, which I believe.
How much did they sell for?
It was like 2.325 or something like that.
Nice chunk of change.
You know what's funny though? It's like he originally offered 2.6. He originally offered 2.6, and the Wilpons got to stay for 5 years. He saved $300 million, and they get out right away. So Steve Cohen's like, great.
That's
deal.
pretty good.
Great fucking deal. So hopefully that happens, and hopefully that changes everything. But I got to make it there first, and at this rate, I don't know if I fucking will.
Patriots won though.
Yeah, they did. And God, that post game outfit was just. You know why I really hate you? Like who did I say this to yesterday? Somebody I was watching with. I think maybe Nick. I was just like, this is.
You watched here yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, this is so perfect for you personally. He's this like swaggy dude who churns out quotes and dresses awesome.
That was one of my biggest fears with losing Brady was that not only
post game fits,
not even post game fits, but just like merch. Mm-hmm. Like Brady is a merch machine because you can just put anything on a fucking shirt.
I would actually argue that Cam is more of a merch machine. Like Brady does things and occasionally said things that were like you can make into merch. Cam is like trying to make you merch. Cam's like, I'm gonna try to. He's like a rapper. He's like dropping bars. I don't get butterflies. I give them. That's like a fucking rap line. So you probably even upgraded in that department. I think somehow you upgraded in the fits department. You probably only downgraded on the field.
And I wouldn't even.
Well, I would argue. I think that Tom Brady dresses better than Cam in my mind. Cam dresses more ridiculous than Tom Brady.
Cam dresses like
I would never wear a Cam Newton, but I would wear.
But like Cam can wear. Cam can.
Yeah, he can pull that off. Right. Yeah.
And yesterday's game.
I mean, they're Halloween costumes. he doesn't put on outfits; he puts on costumes. It's like what'd you wear? What was your wardrobe change for your post game press conference? It's ridiculous.
And the fit he wore going in was amazing. It's and then the game itself was amazing. I've been part of a high flying offense for so long that like it's nice to see what the other way.
The grind it out type shit.
And like it's almost more impressive, if that makes sense. Or like it's more fun because you're dictating your will more.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
There's nothing. I'm gonna jam this down your throat.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do. And then like also the points, like it should have been 31. Was it 31-14? Something like whatever it was. I think it was 24-14 was the final. It should have been 31. Like it should have been kind of a blowout.
Right.
N'Keal Harry fumbled at the goal line. We had Nick Folk miss a kick, obviously. It should have been a perfect Patriots blowout.
And then that post game press conference, that quote, like the College Park in me almost came out when he was like ready to fight the whole fucking team.
Chain snatching.
I forget. First of all, if you're gonna snatch someone's chain, you have to snatch it.
Yeah.
You can't fail to snatch the chain. And second of all, you forget that like Cam Newton, he had his history, like the Auburn, the community college, and all that shit.
Florida,
like, he was
Florida stealing laptops.
Right, like, he was a grimy dude, right. And like it seems like he's pretty much cleaned that up almost entirely. It's all kids and Superman and funny commercials and the $1 Million Smile. But that's still like in there if it needs to come out, Dude,
the Auburn thing is one of the most impressive things that's ever happened in sports.
Which is how good he was?
You know, no one else on that team ever took a pro snap,
Really?
and he won the national championship. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, that's wild. Like that team that's like the 01
At least
Miami team
like
or whatever.
starters I'm talking about. Kind of.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh yeah, 7 people on this defense went on to have like illustrious pro careers.
Right. Like
no one else took a snap.
The team that like they always talk about with the U that had like backups who were like first round picks.
Right.
Weren't they even still like it was like them and Ohio State were kind of like, well, which is like the disputed champion, you know? Like that's crazy. And then he does it with literally nobody.
No one else. Just Cam Newton won a national championship.
Crazy.
And I mean, look, it's gonna be a fun year. I think I'm excited.
Fuck you. You know what I'm gonna do?
Also, I'm also interested to see what happens in Tampa Bay.
That was.
It wasn't like a terrible.
It wasn't
performance.
terrible, but it was not.
But
great.
I'm more interested in what Bruce Arians said afterwards.
Yeah, you just like blamed him for everything, right?
So like Brady's switching up. He's going. I didn't like the private criticisms, right? And like which I don't fault him for. You like I would definitely get sick of just someone like treating me like I was a rookie every year when I'm like I'm not a rookie. I'm the greatest player ever to play this game.
I want some slack, yeah.
But like at least Belichick would do it privately.
Yeah.
Like publicly is an interesting move.
Unless it was like almost like discussed or agreed upon or something, like we need to like change things here, and I'm not going to be different
like
than
he
anybody.
Like leaned into him. He's like those are bad decisions.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
I wouldn't like that.
These are the things, where you have to like be put. At the end of the day, it's still real life, right? And if you like started a new job and your manager at like a presentation said like, well, like our last week we didn't hit like our quota because we got this new guy who like he didn't know the ropes yet. You'd be like, you'd go home to your wife and be like, fuck this guy, and maybe you would cool down eventually and be like, no, I get it, like we got to get on the same page, whatever. But in the moment, you're definitely like, wait, you said what?
Right.
Fuck you, man. I did my job. You didn't do it.
Right.
So like,
and then you're right. They're bad
especially
decisions.
when like he did just leave Tampa Bay, New England. Because of all that, the reason he left was not football.
The sole reason.
No, but it was a person. It was like a. His emotions were like why he left. Like he either felt disrespected or felt like, this is the end of the road. I've just gone too long. But it was never like, oh, this is a bad football situation. I got to go. It was like, I don't like this. So you better like where you're going. Right. And if the first thing that happens is your new boss says like, you're not liking that. I mean, he probably did not go home and French kiss his kids that night. He was probably very angry. No action for the boys.
He also said he was on the Armchair podcast, Dak Shepard's.
Yeah.
And Dax asked him, does he fuck on game day? Or at least pregame. I don't know about postgame. Yeah. And he said he does not fuck on game day.
I could have guessed that.
I would, yes.
It's just a time thing.
See, I actually
got to get to the ballpark. You got to get to the field like fucking hours early.
I would think it would get me. And now, obviously, I've never participated in professional sports, but like I feel like that sex in the morning just wakes me up. It's almost like a cup of coffee.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's those boxers who don't fuck on fight night or at all.
They
leading
don't
up to
fuck
the fight.
their whole training.
That to me, we've had this discussion before. I feel like you have like a cloudy brain and you're like
you're an insane person.
I get like
you're
irritable.
I'm gonna keep all my testosterone in me. Shut up. That doesn't fucking. You're an idiot.
Do you know dolphins come 85 miles an hour?
Excuse me?
Yeah, the cum comes out of them at like a violent rate, like it would kill a human.
85 miles an hour?
Yeah, so I Googled this and I saw.
How fast are humans?
Well, so I Googled it and I saw anywhere from 10 to like 31. But in the process, I also saw.
I would guess I'm throwing ephus.
Yeah. John's a knuckleballer. It's slow and just wobbly. I mean, if you wait somehow, if you can like wait a couple days, I feel like I'm blasting off at like Mach 5.
Yeah, or if you sit on a bag of peas.
Yeah, apparently. Would never know that one from experience, but the peas will
I've
make
never
you
done
shoot.
it either. I've
we should,
heard
you know
about
what?
it.
We should do it. We should do it. We don't have to film it or anything, but we should just do it and report back. Like the pea shooter, literal pea shooter. But I also read like in the same like little blurb when I was looking up how fast miles per hour we come that it said like the like proper amount would be 21 like ejaculations in a month, which I guess if you're talking bare minimum that does make sense, like 2 out of every 3 days.
Wait, you should only come 21 times a month?
That was like kind of I guess the minimum,
kind
of
of
like
to throw heat.
No, in order to just be like just like a healthy man, like you should be going through that bodily function 21 times
At least. I mean,
You do it like 20 times a weekend.
A week max.
Yeah.
Max.
I mean, I got to get the poison out. I literally feel a change in my demeanor. There are times where I'm like I said, irritable and like foggy. And I'm kind of like being like nasty. And then I like come and I'm like, oh, that was it. I really had like this fucking like chunk of poison in me festering. I got it out.
I had masculinity in me.
Yeah, right. I needed to get
That's
this.
why I was being an insufferable asshole.
When they say toxic masculinity, that's not a state of mind. That's like the green like ooze from Ninja Turtles. Like I have toxic sludge inside me. It's called cum. I gotta get it out of me.
Yeah, if you I feel like nicer people masturbate more.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, if you're like
How did we get here? Weren't we just talking about football?
Yep. Coming on game day, and then I brought up Dolphins. That's how it goes. But like to me, your dick is just a tool. That's another thing. Do you know why you're? It's a perfect segue. It's a perfect segue
I mean,
to our next
I
topic.
knew where we were going, and I was
Yeah.
like, "This is perfect."
Yeah. Do you know why your dick is shaped the way it's shaped? Like with the tip.
It's to scoop out other
other men's cum. Like when back in the
I
caveman
don't-
days. I mean, I guess these girls were just getting loads in them to the point that it was like I gotta have a piece that's shaped like a shovel so I can get in there and dig it out at the same time. But it was like get their cum out and get my
Google
cum
that? And also,
I know it from a Netflix movie.
It
seems highly
unnecessary.
well.
Well, like how much sperm is just
Sitting in there.
vaginas?
I mean, I guess if you're talking like primal type shit where like
Also, if I fucked you, like say for the first time my dick goes in
and there's a load in
and
there.
it comes out and I just have cum on my dick, I'm going to.
But
be
that's
upset.
why I don't think it happens anymore. I think it was that way.
I think
for,
it's
like,
non-intelligent design. I think it's unnecessary.
Well, there's a lot of. I mean, the dick being attached to the middle of your body is not intelligent.
I don't believe that because also
because you fucking raw.
because also like that's humanity that made the shovel thing. It
Yeah,
was just
I
a
know.
fucking.
I think it's
It
all
was a
bad.
sheath beforehand. We cut off the extra.
That's why I don't. That's why I don't know if I believe that fact about pulling the cum out because when it had a hood over it, it would not have had that like ledge. Although the idea I believe is when you get hard, the sheath is gone, right?
I mean,
like when
from experience in films, yes. It's
So when you're
they're more
entering,
normal looking when they're hard.
you still have the lip when you are hard sometimes. But
so then how is an uncircumcised dick better for anal then? Because that's what Jessa Rhodes told us.
so that I understood. Well, yeah, you're right because if you pull it all the way back, then it's supposed to just be like a normal dick. But the way Jessa kind of described it was like her ass just like stays wrapped around the foreskin, and it's just you're going in and out of your own foreskin. You're basically fucking your own foreskin. Is what's happening. I don't know if I believe all that, but Jessa would certainly know better than I do. So yeah. Anyway, the lucky ones of us, like of the world, who get circumcised don't have to deal with this. And there has never been a more circumcised man than Chris Evans. I mean, they didn't leave a speck of foreskin on that guy. They carved that thing like it was chiseled from stone. It looked like somebody said it looked like the banister at the end of your like the banister on the steps where it just has a knob on top. It looked like a totem pole that was carved into I mean, that thing is a tip. It looks like a true mushroom.
I gotta pull it up again.
Oh, it's a great cock. It's a great cock. And for those who don't know, Chris Evans accidentally, I do actually believe accidentally. Some people are speculating, maybe not. But either way, pseudo-accidentally leaked his own dick pic by putting up a screen recording on Instagram where the end of it had his camera roll and one of the small little thumbnails was his dick, kind of in like a shadowy black and white picture. And Pat, I didn't realize this, but Pat said it was sticking out the bottom of his shorts.
Of what?
Pat said black and white and sticking out the bottom of your shorts. What is this, 1999? And I couldn't really see that, but it did. It was a little bit of a. It wasn't like a let me hold my dick and take a dick pic. It was definitely him lounging on a couch, just like popping it out of whether it was through the fly or at the bottom of his shorts or whatever. But to the surprise of no one, Captain America Chris Evans has a fucking cock on him. Yeah. I can't tell. It looks like a good dick. I can't tell if it's like huge. But like I said, chiseled from stone, good shape, good size. It's a cock. It's a cock that no girl's gonna be like, They're all gonna love it.
I can't find it right now. But also, as I'm looking for it, Mark Ruffalo tweeted, yo, here's the deal.
Way to politicize like that, dude.
Yeah, if I ever...
Read Mark Ruffalo's quote. Mind you, this is the Hulk. This is his Avenger teammate.
It was something along the lines of, okay, bro, while Trump is in office, there is nothing you could possibly do to embarrass yourself. See? Silver lining. Kevin, if I ever accidentally post my cock on the internet, just don't say anything. Don't tweet me being like,
yeah,
hey, bro, we don't like the president.
Yeah, but I certainly, you know what? No. I decline. If you ever accidentally tweet your cock, we're talking about it.
Oh, no.
I'm not going to politicize it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like, hey, dude, New York's in shambles. De Blasio sucks. Your dick actually brightened up the day here in New York. No. We're going to talk about it because you have to talk about it.
Obviously, we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
But
I'm surprised Chris Evans by now should have said something like, I saw a couple jokes floating around about that's America's dick because he did that's America's ass with Captain America, remember? He should make,
just tweet whoops.
Yeah, that would work.
Whoops.
I mean, I personally would really like if you just said that's America's cock. Lean all the way into it. But this is, I would say, because there was many different reactions. There was Mark Ruffalo talking about Donald Trump. Weird. You see your best friend's dick, all of a sudden Donald Trump pops in your head. You're the weirdo.
Are they friendly? I mean, obviously they're friendly, but
you're right.
That's why it's different. Like if I can't even. We're just in obviously very different stages of what we do professionally. But if I was an actor and I tweeted my dick, don't say anything. Leave it alone. Yeah. Yes, with what we do, we're going to talk about it.
But I would also say there was the other reaction was out of respect, let's not talk about it. That was the most harmless. That was a great dick leak.
Yeah.
He looks awesome. And we'll talk about the other picture in there, which I think is even better. But as far as the dick goes, that was there wasn't anything too graphic. There wasn't anything too sexual. There wasn't anything embarrassing to him and his family. It was just there's a dick. His stock actually went up from it, So no need to
fucking wait, what if the picture, the leaked nude of him was fucking Chris Evans, fucking doggy style, fucking spreading his ass. That would be all right, that's too much.
But you know what? Even for Chris Evans, it'd be if there's ever going to be a guy who's on all fours with his ass spread that people would somehow still enjoy, it'd be Chris Evans.
It is out of his shorts. Pat was right.
Bottom that. You know what
the worst part of it is though, and this is the worst part of sending dick pics. In your legs in it, and you're you can just see my feet is weird.
I've always hated that because then you know what I do though? I've tried to get my feet and my legs out of the picture, but then it looks like you're just a floating dick. And then I feel the recipient's going, well, wait, where are his legs? Are they above his head? Did he tuck them behind? What's going on here? The collateral damage from a dick pic is that you're going to see some man thigh and some toes. Just is how it goes.
My thigh is ridiculous. How pale it is.
I know.
This is disgusting.
And that's the other thing, hot celebrity, I'll have the classic shorts tan line. My knees, from above my knee is tan, and then my thighs get white, and then my dick is Neapolitan ice cream. There's all sorts of colors going on. The whole thing is a fiasco. I can't believe everybody even wants to see this thing. But the dick is whatever. We've all sent a dick pic. We all have pictures of our dicks, whatever. What I don't have is a picture of my own face looking very mugshot-esque. It might even be a mugshot from that show, Defending Jacob, with a red stamped
I think he's
font
much younger in that.
saying, "Guard that pussy." What does that mean, John?
He looks definitively like a rapist.
Yeah, it looks like he's I'm a guard. You guard that pussy for me because it's mine. Yeah. What do you think that is? Do you think I mean, I hope it's a joke. I think we can agree it's some sort of joke. B, did he make it? Do you think that's did someone else make that on the internet and he saved it because it's funny?
I would guess that's a save.
Someone else tweeted that there's some Captain America storyline where he's I gotta guard America, and someone was it'd be they changed the guard that pussy for some reason, and then he saw that and saved it and sent it.
I don't know. It's a Captain America type thing.
But you know what I mean? It's someone else made it.
I would guess it was out there.
I just can't think of a reason why why you'd have that.
Why you would have to guard your pussy from me.
Some of the memes, man. Rhea tweeted that one. It was it's a stock photo of a person sleeping soundly at night, and it was just me sleeping at night knowing that Chris Evans is guarding my pussy.
But that's not what he's. I don't think that's what he's saying.
What do you think he's saying?
I think he's saying you have to guard it from me.
See, I think he's.
I don't think he's I'm
guarding your pussy.
Yeah,
you better guard it from me.
You better watch out.
Fuck it.
I'm coming for that pussy.
Now, again, that can be problematic unless it's like a Olivia Munn situation. Maybe this is the male version of Olivia Munn. He's sending that to her, being like, "You better guard that pussy from other guys because that's mine." The same way she was like, "Fuck that ass."
I don't think it's from other guys. I think it's watch out for me because I'm coming for that pussy.
Equal, that works too.
That's
got to be a consensual situation. Is all I'm saying. Now,
yeah. Well, yeah. I'd hope so.
he doesn't have does he have a wife and kids and shit?
No,
he doesn't even have a girlpussy, does he?
I don't think so.
So it's like it could be your pussy, it could be your pussy, your
he
pussy.
does. He used to date fucking.
Oh yeah, Jenny Slate.
Jenny Slate.
Yeah, that's a wild one.
I think they're both Milton people. I think
What does that mean?
they're both from Milton.
Milton, Massachusetts?
I think so.
Oh wow.
Chris Evans definitely.
Okay, but
is,
still,
and I
you could
think
be from the
Jenny
same
is too.
hometown and not necessarily date.
If there
was
was a celebrity from my hometown and I had whatever this is we have,
yeah,
I'd be like, I'm gonna date that person.
yeah, right. We at least got to give it a shot.
Yeah.
We got to link up and see how it goes.
Yeah.
But I think without being too rude here, I would say that the Hugh Jackman marital situation and the Roger Federer marital situation, those three things blow my mind.
What do you mean?
Have you ever seen their partners?
I've
not
Hugh.
great.
I have. Yes. I don't know. I don't think I've seen it all. No Federers.
It's just not what you'd expect. They are not matching up in the looks department.
Really?
Really?
Well, I actually think Jenny Slate's pretty hot.
Okay.
Like, I mean, Chris Evans is like a sex icon.
Chris Evans to me
Well,
needs
sex
to be
icon
with
now.
fucking like a Rihanna like sex bomb, That's how hot he is.
He might be with Lily James now.
Who's Lily
I think
James?
she's hot, right?
Yeah, she was in Baby Driver and
Her name's hot. That sounds like a porn star.
Lily James.
Yeah,
Lily Carter.
Lily James. Yeah,
You could throw me a name. I bet I could name a porn star with that name.
I mean, she's but I don't really recognize her like off the bat. But she's kind of got a little bit of like a Keira Knightley. She looks like a Keira Knightley mashup with someone else. I don't know. Do you
know her. Yeah, I like her.
Yeah,
I find her.
satisfactory.
Yeah, she's visually appealing.
Yeah, like Lily, if things don't work out with Chris and you want to come hang out with me, I would acquiesce.
Are you from my hometown?
But what a leak. What a dick pic. What a meme.
I
what a pussy
actually
meme.
am surprised. I thought it should have gotten more attention.
Yeah, well, it was NFL Sunday. I think
Saturday.
It was Saturday, wasn't it? You're right.
Yeah. I feel like Chris Evans' penis did not get the attention it deserved.
I-
And maybe I'm wrong.
No, but I agree. But I do think a lot of that was a misguided out of respect.
I find that silly. I
So do
get it.
But you know what? I even did hesitate. I was like, one day this is going to happen to me.
Oh,
Sooner or later,
for sure.
and I'm not going to have like a tasteful one. I'll probably have the one you described. And it's not going to be as good looking as his. And it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad, folks. And when that happens, I want people to have some respect and not talk about it. So I was like, should I not talk about this because like karma? But then I was like, but it's awesome. So in that case, I feel like I would if it
is definitively going to happen.
Yeah,
like
right.
I'm
100%.
telling you, 1,000%. At some point, someone is going to post my penis or my sex or something. And
has to. It's just a
going
numbers
to be
game.
Horribly embarrassing.
Horrible.
But we're gonna have to.
Can we let's make a pact if that happens that we just like maybe we just like go on that vacation we've talked about to like the Bahamas or whatever. Like we just go dark for like a month.
No, I'm
just
gonna
gotta lean into it.
about
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, yeah. I mean, it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be funny.
Yeah, I would hope nothing ever with me is funny. Everything always reverts back to like I'm deplorable for some reason. It's like, oh my god, you have kids. You have kids. You have kids. What are you doing? Have a hard dick. It's like what the
How you think I got those kids, motherfucker?
I'm no longer allowed to have sex because I fucking procreated. But it's gonna be horrific.
I actually said I feel like if I had to grade my sexting game, I think I send rather tasteful nudes.
Yeah, see, nothing about me is tasteful. That's where I will agree with the haters when this inevitably happens. I'm deplorable. I'm deplorable.
I don't have there's not like jerking off or anything like that. It's just like no me fucking getting Greg Maddox with a cum shot. Fucking I have like it's pretty much just like either hard dicks or chubbed up dicks, and like it's just pretty basic.
What a pussy you are. What are you, some sort of F word? Give me a break.
I got that one video with my nut shoved up my ass, but that's it.
Yeah, it's all for me, top to bottom. Whether it's words, pictures, behavior, whatever, it's all not great. So when it happens, I told you so. Don't be like laughing at me because like I'm telling you now. You know, I'm telling you. Okay. I hate the cloud. I fucking hate the cloud. I told you the other day I'm considering going to Android.
Yeah.
I'm so done with the cloud that I'm considering having green bubbles. That's how like hectic my life has gotten with the cloud.
I think you should do it.
Who would do?
Nah, I think I would like your dick pics out there.
That makes one of us. That makes one of us. Let's get into our top fives. What do we got for interviews today?
We have Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil. We should have talked about it with him. Doc, how do I handle horrendous public embarrassment again? So we got Dr. Phil today, who went through some of our Emma the assholes, and we threw out some quote unquote hypothetical situations at him, and had a good convo. He addresses his thoughts on Ellen. So a really good interview with our boy Phil. It's funny to just call him Phil instead of Dr. Phil. I was like, Phil.
I called him Phil at one point, and I felt wildly
Yeah,
disrespectful.
very strange, right?
Yeah,
I should call him
like,
Philip or something. So we got that. We'll do our top fives and our interviews. All right, we got top fives and voicemails. All right, but before we get into any of that, we got to talk about the new, the big hubbubaloo on Netflix. New movie out, and it's making waves in the world. It's brought to you by Proactive. I feel bad if you got acne. I never really, although I will say this is gross, but I don't know if you can really see it. But right here, right on the edge of my nose, I got one of those pimples that makes you feel like it's like someone punched you in the face.
Oh,
Like I feel like I got like a broken nose right now because I got one of those pimples that hurts. That's not quite the same as acne. That's embarrassing and it's like all over your face and body. That I never, thankfully, really experienced. Because God, that is, especially at the age, how cruel is the world that like when you're at your most vulnerable and people are bullying and making fun of you is also when your body's gonna look gross. You know what I mean? Maybe that's why it all unfolds that way. But acne, man, it's a motherfucker, and it's not just for kids. It can happen for 18 to 34. There are plenty of people in the adult world who are suffering from acne, and that's what Proactive is. It's the number one brand to help fight adult acne. I mean, I would do it all. I would spend if I only had enough money to eat and get Proactive, and I had pimples, I would get Proactive.
Yeah.
That is worth changing your whole everything for. That will change your life if you fix the problem.
There was a time when fucking the medicine, the side effects of the medicine to fix your face were suicide.
Yeah.
And we were like,
Okay.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. Other
It's worth the risk.
Other medicines would like literally drive your brain like fucking insane. And here's one that's safe and tested and proven to work. And honestly, this here talks about like all the stresses in life and like how you don't want acne to just be one of them. It's like, I know. I mean, when people are like, there are like starving children, it's like, no, this is more important. This is worse. This is worse. This is ruining my everyday life. And like, yeah, sure, you might think there are bigger problems in this world, but honestly, when you wake up every day and what you see on your face makes you upset and you don't like it, I mean, stop everything and do whatever you got to do to fix that. And that's where Proactive is. Proactive comes to the rescue. And, acne can pop up out of nowhere real quick. And it's always like right before a presentation or a date or like whenever. That pimples, I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? Stress-induced, right? So it's not just chance, but it does feel that way, like, of course, right now. And Proactive can stop all those breakouts for whatever reason. They've got you covered. They've got the 3 different systems to help your skin type. They have one, the Proactive Solution, which is the original system that's good for all skin types, all ages. The Proactive Plus, which is for sensitive skin types, and then the Proactive MD, which is prescription strength for the stubborn breakouts, like where you need to bring in the heavy guns. So right now, whether you're signing up for one or all 3 of those, go to proactive.com/KFC Radio, and you can get an exclusive offer only available to the KFC Radio listeners. You'll get the free Hydrating Duo gift. That includes a hydrogel mask and a green tea moisturizer. Ooh. I love those things. Hydrogel, whatever, sure.
Yeah.
In green tea, let's go. Eucalyptus and shit. Sign me up. Aloe, what's the black? Charcoal, all of it. Sign me up for all of it, man. Menthol, it smells good. You get the tingle going on your face.
Yeah.
Oh, baby. So they get the masks and the lotions and the creams and the ointments and everything to help clear that skin up. Go to proactive.com/KFC radio. Get the 2 free gifts plus free shipping. Take advantage of that offer now and get your clear skin. The new movie making waves is called Cuties, a.k.a. What was it, Nick?
Mignon.
Mignons. Mignons.
What?
That's how you say it in French. Say cuties in French. Mignons.
Why do you know that?
Because I looked it up today and I was doing my video and I actually found it very funny. Let me see if I can still pull it up on. I went to like YouTube to do one of those like pronunciation videos, and it was this very funny. I gotta find it now because I started it. God damn it! Hang on. How is it not in my? Sorry, this will be worth it. And I found this like French YouTube pronunciation video. Listen how dumb this idiot sounds. Of course, there's an ad now. God, it's really not that funny. Now this is build up too much. This wasn't there the first time.
Hey everyone, thanks for choosing this videos. In this video I'm going to tell you how to pronounce this word.
What?
So let's get right to it. Mignon.
What?
Like, I don't know if I should trust that's how you're supposed to pronounce it.
no
Hey everyone,
way
let's get
that's
to
how you-
videos. This is pronounce it. Here we go, do.
Mignon? There's no
So
chance.
I hit it with a little mignon. It sounds like filet
Filet
mignon,
mignon.
you know?
Yeah.
Mignon. I guess mignon is like a small, like a young bull or a young bull. I don't know. Mignon.
I took French, like it's mignon.
Mignon.
Like,
Yeah,
it's-
this was like
yeah,
mignon. Get the mignon. So this is a French movie, which I think does count for
Oh, I
something
didn't know
because
it
the
was-
French, yeah.
Oh.
First of all, okay, let me explain what's going on. It's called Cuties. It's a French movie. It's not a documentary. It's a fucking movie, which I think a lot of people did not get that at first. I think because we're in like documentary culture and because it also seems so crazy to write a script about little children that it just wouldn't happen. This is a scripted ass fictional movie about a young girl named Ami, not Amy, Ami, and she is in a Muslim family that's very strict. And she finds out that her father is betraying her mother, and so she rebels. And she rebels by
How is her father betraying her
listen
mother?
to this. So
Have you
there's-
watched this movie?
no, but I've
You-
read up.
you
I
read
read up
about
on
it,
it,
yeah.
and so there's this room in their apartment that's sealed off, and they tell this little girl, she's 11 years old, don't ever go in that room. And the father goes away for a while to Paris, or they're coming back to they're in Paris, and I think by accident they said she accidentally stumbles upon this. So I don't know whether she opens the door up or whatever. She finds out that her dad is on vacation to go get a second bride and bring her back. And that's the bridal chamber where he's going to like consummate with her. So it's like fucked. It's fucked. And so she lashes out and rebels and joins
That's
up.
not a good, very like smart way to betray somebody by having a second room in the house dedicated to them.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
your wife's probably gonna ask some questions about that.
Not going to get away with this one, dude. But she joins up with like the popular girls at school who are dancers, and this girl is like so sheltered and oppressed and repressed that she's like, classic, like you lock her in the basement and then she goes wild. They form a twerk team, and then they join a dance competition where they're dancing like you see adults dance today. What's happening is
I watched one clip and it looked like they were doing the WAP dance.
yes, exactly that. And when you read the Netflix description, it says like Amy is a repressed girl who comes into her own after finding a free spirit dance club. So it sounds like it's a positive thing. And then what I'm reading is like, no. This is a commentary about how fucked up the world is, that girls are sexualized and that they're forced into like to behave like this, and it's actually condemning it. So I'm like, okay, I get it. The right, this of course it's all politicized. The left is saying the right is fear mongering and making it something it's not. The right is doing things like photoshopping on IMDb. It says that there's like bare breasts and nudity. That's not true. So both sides are being assholes.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw
that's not
that.
true.
Oh,
There's
that's
no
not
like
true.
full
Okay.
blown nudity, but there is the scenes I watched. They're enclosed. But
How
they're, like,
many scenes are there? Like if there are
I
just
saw-
like 2 dance scenes in a whole movie, like
I saw
then-
2 dance scenes, and then I've heard the finale is like supposed to be like crazy, but I think the whole movie is pretty tough. And they do things like I saw dance scenes. I read that there was a scene where they like force the girl, like hazing her. They force her to go into the boys' bathroom and take pictures of like the boys' dicks. And that there's another
How?
scene where they're like taking nudes
What?
of themselves.
Has the person who wrote this movie ever been in the bathroom before? We're not all just walk around with our dicks out.
like you're peeing at the urinal, like standing like miles away, just like, you want to take a picture of this dick? Yeah, I mean the whole thing does sound like, I mean, but I guess the response is like, this is what it's like, you know, you can be a 12-year-old girl and like you are thrust into the world of like sex and sexting and nudity and all that shit, which is like, maybe that's all well and true. I'm just saying, I don't want to watch this movie.
I watched one clip and maybe I needed to shower after.
I said
Very
I don't want to watch anything where it might even be construed that I am condoning like kiddie porn. The big criticism is like, okay, fine, you are trying to give a commentary on child exploitation and like sexualization of children
by exploiting.
Yeah, which makes perfect sense to me. But then the argument is also like, yeah, man, it's a tough fucking topic to talk about. It's like, I'm going to make a movie about racism and there's going to be the N-word and there's going to be lynching and there's going to be shit that's uncomfortable because I'm trying to like discuss it. But the problem is you're doing it with children. And I don't know how that gets, I don't know how the parents agree to that. I don't know how, like, if I was a cameraman on these scenes, you're like zooming in and stuff.
That was my
I'd
biggest
be like,
problem.
Director,
if it's like a one shot, like still camera in the back of an auditorium as they're doing like overly sexualized dances, that's one thing. This is like they're up in the mix.
Zooming in on like body parts and crevices and shit. I was like, it takes a lot for me to like really. I was like jarring. I was like, this is not. I had like a visceral reaction to it. I could never imagine sitting through that movie just and then coming out of it being like, what a I mean, some of the critics are like, a wonderful debut from like the woman who created it. Like, this will be up for awards and da da da. I'm like, even if you really 87% critics
and
3%
I also
audience.
think that's bullshit. I think to give a review of a movie, they should have a quiz first to prove you watched it.
Yeah, that's true.
Like people are just fucking bombing this movie because they don't like you haven't
Oh
seen it?
yeah. I mean, if you look at like the reviews, it's all politicized now. It's all. I mean, there's two things going on. There's like the movie community being like, no, this is fantastic, and then you have the politicized people being like, you know, this is fear mongering, and you're just doing this for the election, you know, shit like that. It's like, what are we talking about? All I know is, I guess in this time, I go down the middle. Sometimes I lean left, sometimes I lean right. Right now, I think I'm leaning a little right, being like, this is too much.
Yeah.
A little too much for me. I don't like it, but it's like front and center on Netflix, trending like top 10 on that list, and there's no plans to take it down, and I don't know if I would have
Netflix is
done
going to
that.
release some statement. It's like the most watched movie of all time.
Definitely, 200 billion streams. The other thing is, from like the 10 minutes I saw, it's just not a good movie.
Really?
Well, I mean, it's
I
hard.
just saw
Children
one
actors are hard, you know. You got to be a really good actor as a kid.
I think there are two: Millie Bobby Brown, and then
saw her recently. Jesus Christ! Speaking of fucking, I was like, can't look at that. Can't look at that. She looks like a full-grown woman now. How old is she now? In my mind, she's still like 12.
I would guess she's 15.
Holy shit!
I don't know the answer
Fucking
to that.
Drake was talking to her way too early, way too long, way too early.
I will defend that a little bit because I do think there's such aliens, celebrities.
Yeah.
Where like no one can relate to me.
No.
And like Drake, you're a
can,
child actor.
yeah.
Like you can like
Right.
You can kind of.
I have no problem. You can't personally text. You really can't. You could be totally harmless, but I don't think you can like text the 15-year-old or 12-year-old or whatever the fuck she was.
Yeah.
If you can if you like met her on set of a commercial and you're having a private conversation about like, hey, let me like just give you some of the pitfalls of child acting. I think that's cool. To like personally contact.
Yeah, I mean it's weird for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think that stuff's like all so weird.
I mean, I also, if you ask me if I think Drake is like creepy, I don't think he is. I just think he's doing something that he's not realizing
Probably
comes
shouldn't
across
be.
as creepy. Yeah, but
who's the Jacob? What's his name?
Yeah, I
The
know.
kid from Room.
Yeah, he's
Those
a
are
cute, funny
two.
kid too. Like he's like in the award shows, like
Jacob
off camera.
Tremblay?
He's like a.
Jacob Tremblay.
Yeah.
And is your boyfriend, girlfriend? Is he young? Timothy Chalamet. Is he a young
I would
guy?
guess he's mid-20s.
Oh, okay. I thought he was a young kid.
I don't know the answer to that.
Beautiful young man. Just a pretty boy. So
He's
you know,
24.
24.
but
that one.
viewer beware if you want to go watch Cuties. I mean, even the name, right?
Cuties is insane. It's an
Man.
insane thing to call it.
Cuties, and they're like in like sequined, sparkly dresses and dancing. And I'll say this: the difference is, like I said, you can make movies about violence and about race and horrible, tough topics, and you want to tackle it authentically, and you want it to be jarring and all that shit, fine.
Because then you have adults who are signing on.
Yeah.
So
right.
an adult with a full brain, a fully
like,
formed brain,
I
is
get
going,
it. Yes.
I understand. I will
Right.
participate.
This is like kids who are trying to, like, they're like, all right, I just want to be in a Netflix movie or
Right.
whatever, and I'll do it. And the parents are probably like,
I just want my
pimping
kid
them
to be in
out.
a Netflix
Yes.
movie.
And then also, no matter what your intended consequences are, the unintended consequences are that there are pedophiles at home jerking off to that. You know why it's top 10 on Netflix? All of the pedophiles in the world are watching that. And if you're okay with that, I could make the most like moving piece of content that's like, wow, this shed light on that. I could fix the problem. If they said, you know what, no more beauty pageants, no more teen dancing. If my movie fixed all those issues, but I knew that like at home pedophiles were like jerking off to it, I'd be like, I'm not making that movie. It's gross.
Yeah.
So even if you have the right, your heart and your mind's in the right place, other people's are not. So the Jared Fogels of the world and Jeffrey Epstein of the world are like, this is my favorite movie ever. Have you guys seen it?
What a film.
Fucking assholes. All right, top 5. It's brought to you by Bird Dogs. At this point, I feel like the world has just moved completely towards the comfort and functionality style Venn diagram, and Bird Dogs does it better than anyone else. I
was wearing a pair of Bird Dogs last night.
The shorts, the pants.
Shorts.
So they moved from the shorts to the pants game, which I think is important because the shorts are comfortable. But we've said many times, I feel a bit foolish wearing shorts at times.
I still think that, and for some reason this summer I've noticed
that. You've just said, fuck it, you're wearing them. But you know what? I've seen you just gross, creamy white legs all summer.
Yeah.
It hasn't been great. But yeah, if you want to wear, shorts are good for the summer, but, sometimes they're a little bit informal, or sometimes you like Frankie Borelli and you have weird, like, girly, translucent legs. You don't want to wear them. I don't have great legs either. It's like we were talking about with Chris Evans. It's like, you don't want your legs on display. Mm-hmm. But so now they got into the pants game. They're still comfortable. They basically just, like, stole Lululemon's head designer. And I don't know with Bird Dogs if that's a joke or not. They like to have a little bit of fun at Bird Dogs. There's a chance they might have literally stole that person.
You think so?
I don't know. They're comfortable ass fucking pants.
I mean,
like throw a burlap sack over his head, throw him in a fucking.
You mean like
van.
actually kidnapped him?
Yep, kidnapped him, poached him away.
You work
like,
for us now.
Maybe poached him away. Like his contract was up at Lululemon and they signed him, or maybe they threw him in the back of a van with a burlap sack and said, "Design us fucking pants." But either way, they're as comfortable as the shorts are, but now with a little more formal look. They are the comfiest, best looking pair of pants you'll ever wear. They've got the underwear built into it, which is the future. It's just one less step to worry about. It's one less thing to wash. Like there's nothing worse than when I run out of underwear. I mean, you just wear like women's underwear when you're out. But when I have like when I wear this pairs that are
underwear,
uncomfortable, or
I'll never run out of underwear.
I feel like I have a lot, but then I always turn around and I'm like, well, I'm down to like that pair that doesn't fit me that well.
I would get
whatever.
50 pairs of underwear.
It's like what I like about these though is like whatever pair of pants you have, that's how many pairs of underwear you have because they're connected in there. So they're comfortable. And they're stylish. You can wear them, in or out. You can wear them to the bar. You can wear them to work, whatever. It's got the stretch. It's got the comfy material, the look, the fit. All of it's perfect. So go to birddogs.com, enter promo code KFC, and you'll get a free pair of nunchucks, which I like. I think that's a great promotion. Free shipping, sure, whatever. Like those little gimmicks are cool. Give me the nunchucks gimmick. That one I like. And I mean,
nunchucks are something where you.
I mean, I sat there flipping around like Bruce Lee the whole time.
You
They're
never
awesome.
think to buy them, but when there are nunchucks lying around like they're out in the office.
Oh, if there's a pair of
blast.
nunchucks in front of you and you don't grab them and try to do the Bruce Lee thing where you grab it with your elbow, I don't like you. You're a fucking loser. I don't want to know you as a person. So get your nunchucks. I've never seen anyone use nunchucks to like kill someone, which you could big time.
Well, also let's be clear. These are
Foam.
These are they're fun nunchucks, but they're
also
not
let me be
dangerous
clear
nunchucks.
to you. The copy from Bird Dogs says you'll get an actual murder weapon. So they're not exactly...
Okay. All right, so never mind.
They're not exactly upset about the disclaimer, but you are right. They're the playful ones. But like I've never seen someone just be like I want to go on Live Leak. This sounds bad, but I want to go on Live Leak and like Google like nunchuck. Like I don't
someone's head just gets split open.
You would crush somebody with those. I've only seen the foam ones. They're a lot of fun. Those and Chinese throwing stars, ninja throwing stars.
Dude,
That should be the next
school. Some kid used to lay in his bed, and he left his door open, and he would just throw them and then stick them into the wall. I'm like, bro, one day someone's gonna come walking by.
Yeah,
like you're not.
Oh, like through the doorway?
Yeah.
Holy shit! Maybe that's why he was doing it. He's like, one day someone's gonna come by.
someone's just
and I could be like, oh, what's
lodged in someone's temple.
Holy shit!
Insane.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
He was an insane person.
Yeah,
I don't know what he's up
clearly.
to in his life right now, but he was an
Clearly.
insane person.
Well, he's probably in jail or murdering people.
Yeah.
So, anyway, birddogs.com, promo code KFC. Get yourself a pair of the Bird Dog shorts or the Bird Dog pants, all their clothes, and you get the free pair of nunchucks. That's KFC when you check out at birddogs.com. Top 5. We just read an article today that said Jeopardy is returning to production, which is a big deal because A, Jeopardy is fire, and B, Alex Trebek, God bless him, is still doing the damn thing. He's still, unfortunately, battling cancer. And
He's still battling cancer?
well, I think he's going to be battling it from here on out. I don't know if it's I don't think it's going away. But he's got to be protected because obviously that's like, immunocompromised, and we got coronavirus. So they said they're taking every single precaution possible to make sure they protect Alex at all costs. So we figured today we'll do a little top 5 game shows of all time. Who's first pick?
You can go first.
Jeopardy.
Okay.
Second pick. Jeopardy. There's a reason why why that article sparked this idea. Trebek is the man. Trebek. I mean, just the fact that just this SNL skit alone is like the fact that someone was like, this is a good enough dynamic here, and he's a good enough character, and then like mix it in with Sean Connery. It's just perfect. And to me, it's the king.
Is Celebrity
quiz show.
Jeopardy still a thing?
Yeah. They did.
is?
Yeah. Fuck. I want to say that Colin Quinn has been on it and like killed it. There's a couple people out there. You know who's good at it? Pat Sajak.
Is he?
He like did like a crossover and he like crushed it. I'm pretty sure he like ran away with it. He's a smart cat. But there's a few people out there who are like very smart celebrities who have like done it. Give me a little quick Google on that, Nick, if you can just find like best celebrity Jeopardy contestants. But to me, it's the premier. I guess not intelligence show. What's that called? Like a quiz show or like a aptitude or whatever. It's like, it's more just like knowledge and memorization and recall and stuff. But, put it this way. Can you name one other person who's ever been on a game show? And I can name you Ken Jennings, Brad Rutter, you know what I mean? James Holtzhauer. Like, that, these guys are like athletes on Jeopardy.
Yeah, that's
I can't
true.
tell you, like, you remember the appearance of like Todd Jones on, XYZ, whatever? Like, so it's a cut above for a fucking reason. So, Jeopardy, number 1. And Alex.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Wow. I wasn't even thinking. Now I got to go deep in my bag to think about like kids games.
That's what all mine are going to be.
Yeah.
Because
all right, I'll leave them alone so you can have
I don't have. I'm not a big game show guy.
Yeah.
I obviously like. I'm not anti game show, but just
I'm a big
I'd rather
game show
watch
guy.
New Girl for the 17th time.
Yeah.
Than a game.
I mean,
show.
I used to. I don't do it as much anymore. But during the baseball off season, like 7:00 for me was just like Jeopardy time.
Did you used to live tweet Jeopardy?
Maybe. Maybe.
I feel like you did.
Maybe. If there was a champion like on a run, I wouldn't just like pick a random day, but if there was like a 10-day champion, Action Jackson or Arthur Chu. I had a fucking feud with that Asian guy who told me he's gonna fuck my mom.
Yeah.
I've got a deep rooted history. I've since kind of passed the torch to Clem on the blog front, but Barstool Jeopardy, I feel like I did kind of pave that way. Now Tommy's doing literal Barstool Jeopardy. But yeah, maybe. Legends of the Hidden Temple. That's one that's pretty legendary. Like everyone can still tell you Silver Snakes and like Blue Eels or whatever. But the final challenge,
Blue Monkeys, right?
Blue Monkeys, yeah. The Temple Run. It's almost, it's weird. It was like, we're just going to have these like giant black men scare these children. It feels like the beginning of a weird porn.
I
It's like,
forgot.
"Rah, I'm going to fuck you."
Yeah.
It's like Mandingo popping out of this thing.
It was,
and also it was like, you have to get like 35 pieces of this medallion in 10 seconds.
Oh, it was impossible. Anyone who completed that is now LeBron James. He's the only person who ever finished that.
Right.
It's like the athletic skill required to complete the temple run is
It's impossible. It's literally,
absolutely
it's
impossible.
it's like time-wise impossible.
Yeah.
It was like, you need to do 35 things in 25 seconds. It's like, well, unless I can do them at light speed, this is not going to fucking happen. Good pick, though. Good pick. I will go Price is Right. Price is Right. The official, as cliche as it is, stay home from school game. game show, the wheel, the big block dice, the golf, the yodeler. I mean, that's one. Loud Sean was on it. Aaron Paul was on it.
I forgot Loud Sean was
Oh
on
yeah,
it.
I think he won. Like he won like a prize too. The Showcase Showdown. Bob Barker, the Skinny Mike, Bob Barker's Beauties, a new car. Come on down. I mean, all these phrases and all these things are from Price is Right. So I think it's kind of become. I gotta like remind myself that like there's always a new like generation or a new like crop of young people reading the blog and listening to podcasts and stuff. I feel like cliche and hacky when I talk about Price is Right now. It's like, yeah, we've done it. Like Dane Cook had his bit about it.
Yeah.
And, you know, yeah, when you stay home from school, you watch it. But there's probably some people out there hearing it for the first time that it's still the GOAT. I mean, even with Drew Carey, I feel like it's still, those jokes still like play and those observations still hit home for people.
Drew Carey getting that was one of the more tumultuous times, I feel like, in
like American history.
In history, when it's like, you're giving it to Drew Carey, who I don't know, I'm sure he does a fine job. I know.
Yeah, but it is, you know, people are talking about who's the
that's-
successor for Alex Trebek, and it's like a big discussion. And Bob Barker was like this playboy and this like cool cat, and they were like, that fat guy from Cleveland?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, he got skinny now? Like, what? And it's like totally fine, but you do want to, you know, it's like you'd rather it be, oh, shit, like good choice.
Yeah.
Instead
But,
it's like,
but also, I don't think it's possible.
yeah, it's very hard.
Like,
but, you know, I would say, like, I remember, like, when the Yankees were trying to replace Derek Jeter, I was like, don't even bother. Like,
Yeah.
you know. But Didi Gregorius filled in and hit, like, 25 home runs. Everyone was like, we like this guy, too. So it can happen, but it takes a miracle. So
Yeah, you always want, what is it? You want to be the guy after the guy.
yes.
You don't want to be the guy
Right.
filling in
Let
for the
these
guy.
people fail, and then I'll take it.
Mhm.
You're up.
American Gladiators.
Great pick.
Yeah. I mean, that
Great pick.
tennis ball game was as iconic as Temple.
Oh, the assault.
Assault.
Yeah.
Yes.
Assault. You were shooting tennis balls 120 miles an hour out of a cannon. I mean, that is insane.
Were they really
crazy.
$120?
Yeah. Maybe they juiced it up a little bit, but it was definitely over 100. Like that's what they were telling us. 100 miles
Really?
an hour.
Yo, that would
That would hurt.
That would hurt.
And like people get hit and and you know they just put on a front because they were on TV. But like I would be like,
Bro, I don't even like. I don't know how fast my friends threw when we were in 5th grade, but I hated
Not
like
bad.
in what was it called?
running bases.
Like wall
red ass,
ball.
we called it butts up. That's a big thing.
Butts up.
That's what we called it.
Why?
Butts up, red ass. Some people called it wall ball. Some people
I
called it
think
off
we were
the
just wall ball.
Yeah.
But it was like,
Yeah,
and
when you
like
got pegged like that.
whatever like they were throwing at that age, that fucking hurt.
Yep.
And I'm gonna guess it was around in the 40s they threw.
Right, right. And that my favorite thing was like the other the guns that the contestants got. Like the first one's like a fucking rocket launcher. The one you shoot the big ball out of the cannon, and then by the end you're in between like these little twigs, and you're supposed to like fire, you know, and then you just get rocked.
It's like,
Rocked.
I can't even.
And then like
imagine
even
that.
the other games, at least that one kind of gave you a chance to give you weapons and stuff. I loved when it was like run past this fucking roided up 80s, like barely missed the NFL freak show. The girls scared me more than the guys.
the girls were.
There was that one deaf girl. Remember, I think her name was
No.
Ice, something like that.
Isis?
She was deaf and she was just. I was like, I'll take Malibu. I'll go fight. You know that guy over there. Shit. All right, I will go. I'm looking at a list here because once you opened up the children's, you know, I'm gonna go. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Oh,
Yeah.
another good one.
Regis, and I maintain to this day that the dude who won $1 million and called his dad was a setup and a hoax, and that we were just, as a society, we were not woke enough to fake stuff like that. I think nowadays, if that happened, we'd be like, that was so fucking
Coming back,
fake.
by the way.
Oh, yeah? With who?
Jane Lynch.
Okay. I mean, there's been a few. I know Meredith Vieira did it. I think Jimmy Kimmel did it recently. Shout out to our girl Nikki Glazer. She was a contestant on the show. I mean, that like revived game shows in my mind. Like that was,
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I agree with that.
yeah, like that. It was a what's it called? Primetime show, and like it was like must watch. And they would do like, you know, it would end and it would carry over to the same contestants. So it'd be like, oh, we gotta see where that guy finishes. The 32,000, 64,000, 125, 250. Like we could lock in money. Phone a friend lifelines are like that was revolutionary. But yeah, that guy calling his dad. Hey, Dad, I just want to let you know I'm gonna win the $1 million. Like,
I wish his dad was like, actually, it's gonna get taxed at 50% rate. So
Yeah. It is funny that like all of these games, it's like you don't win that much money.
dude, I actually have always like flabbergasted how little Jeopardy wins.
It's
Like-
Jeopardy is like you have to be the smartest person alive, and like you walk home with like $12,000.
yeah,
And then we'll talk about other game shows based on who picks here, but yeah, other game shows that are much easier, or people walk away with 10 times the money.
Guts.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
a good point.
That's
a good choice.
I mean, that's it. The guts is what you got the aggro crack for, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Global Guts specifically was when they started going with like the different countries, and they had Mo
Yeah.
and Michael Malley and the aggro crag, and that like they used to have that like bungee cord thing where you would jump and like bounce and bounce again. Everyone thinks about the aggro crag, but all those games were fucking sick. There was the one thing where you were on a raft and you had to like pull yourself on a rope that was like so fucking hard for like an 8-year-old.
Yeah, I remember that. They're in a pool or something.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You had to pull yourself in a raft in water, and it was like, this is hard. But shout out to Brian Beer II, our first ever KFC radio guest, who was a.
Was he the first guest?
I think so. I mean, who else would it have been?
I think Cutler was before.
Was he?
I think so.
Brian Beer, who is now like a fucking raging political monster on
Is he?
social media. Yeah, oh yeah, big time. I mean, you're that surprised? He's a big MAGA guy.
Yeah.
He sent us all like grapefruits
Yes.
or oranges or some shit. Yeah.
Oranges.
So yeah, that was OG guest because Big Cat has saw him. Like he dominated his entire round of Global Guts. Great choice. I'm gonna go Supermarket Sweep. One of the more preposterous game shows of all time. People running around the supermarket. It is 80s and like early 90s, I guess, entertainment at its purest. That's on Netflix now. It just like this past month is now available on Netflix. So if you're a youngin' and you weren't around for Supermarket Sweep, just go watch a couple episodes. It's weird to like binge watch a game show from the 80s, but watch a couple because people just flying around the aisles with their cart out, grabbing food.
That was like I
is-
would pretend I was in supermarkets.
Yes. Oh,
Like, in the
absolutely.
supermarket, you like take like,
Yeah.
turns. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like every game show is kind of like a variation of a quiz show. You know, like sit down, I ask you a question, you answer it. This is like one of a fucking kind, running around a goddamn grocery store. So shout out Supermarket Sweep.
Double Dare.
Man, you're like one step ahead of me every time.
Just that nose is so iconic. And it,
Yes, that giant nose.
as a
all
kid,
those
I was
things.
like, I felt seen.
Yeah, that is the final word for sure.
It's a big
Taking
I
those fucking flags out of there.
Yeah. Oh God, it's grotesque.
Gross.
But
But there was a lot of great shit on there. Even just all of those fill up the
buckets.
cylinder with
Yeah,
the line.
yeah.
You're like
The-
dumping your head into their head, all that shit. Because then there was Family Double Dare where you did it with like your mom and dad, which had to be fucking weird. All right. I mean, man, there's so many good ones. And I will have to say, just like, hang on, let me just scroll through here. Oh. I'm going to have to go with, Your Luck was good. There's some really good ones. Hang on. Man, this is a huge toss-up for me. There's three in my mind right now. There's one that I like personally. There's one that like deserves to be on like this like kind of pantheon here. I'll go with Family Feud.
oh,
Family Feud. That wasn't the one I like personally liked the most, but I think Family Feud, first of all, with the curse of all of its hosts, you know that? All of its hosts like committed suicide. It's
What?
crazy. It's crazy. All like the hosts of Family Feud for like a pretty, I think it's like 3, but that's a lot. Family Feud curse.
Family Feud. I Steve Harvey actually kind of ruined it for me.
So it's kind of become like a fucking stand-up comedy hour for
Yeah.
Steve Harvey, where I think they try to force those like funny moments.
Yeah,
that go viral.
it'd be
you know?
like, oh, we asked 100 people.
Items to like put in your ass.
Yeah,
It's
like,
well,
like what makes a man a man? It's
yeah.
Penis.
Right.
You
right.
said a penis.
Right. But prior to like if you go back to like the 70s, it was like the host would lean in and he'd be like, "What's up, doll? Like, what's your name?" And they'd like hold hands, like so, like 100 people surveyed, like when you're getting intimate with your husband, like what do you da da da? And it was like so hyper sexualized. The one host kissed every woman on the lips.
Really?
Every single girl kissed right on the fucking lips, but yeah, like a sensual one. But yeah, Richard Dawson, he killed himself. Ray Combs, yeah, Richard Dawson killed himself. Ray Combs killed himself. Louis Anderson, he did not kill himself, but he got arrested for like, you know, he got caught up in some like illegal shit. Then they had Al Borland from Home Improvement. He was all good. Nothing happened. But yeah, like they had a dark run. But the like good answer, the fast, like the buzz in thing, and the final round where you like, you know, you have like two people from your family go. That's one of the best final rounds in all of Family Feud. I love when somebody gets
a great Always Sunny episode as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love when people get like 179 points and the second person just needs to get like, you know, 15 or whatever and they can't do it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. So yeah, that rounds out my top 5.
Does Room Raiders count?
Sure.
Room Raiders.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Anytime you can get called with cum on your fucking
You're
sheets.
kind of participating in a game
Yeah,
of sorts.
definitely.
Right?
I think there's like a prize. You could win money and you lose and win. So that's a game show.
Yeah, Room Raiders said. That was probably the last time I watched the game show.
Yeah.
Regularly.
I
I'll catch an occasional Jeopardy episode here and there.
I was down to my personal favorite is Pyramid, which I've tried to like wedge into this show and live shows many times before. And then Wheel of Fortune is not on that list. We don't have Wheel of Fortune.
Wow.
Because fuck Pat Sajak. Fuck Pat Sajak, that goddamn phony. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Pat. You couldn't hold a fucking candle. You can't hold Alex Trebek's jockstrap. You sit there and you just say whether there's a fucking letter. You say yes or no. That's it. Vanna does all the fucking work for you.
Is there an actual
Bullshit.
feud between them? Or is it just kind of...
No, it's just me in my head. That little bitch, Sajak. Fuck you. You be a real man like Trebek, you fucking pussy. 7 o'clock Jeopardy for life. None of that fucking 7:30 Jeopardy that you guys get up in New England. 7 o'clock, Trebek, fuck 7:30 Wheel of Fortune, fuck Sajak. But Vanna White,
Midwest, it's on at 4.
Yeah, that's what
sucks.
So my grandfather used to he was a firefighter, he'd be in the firehouse, and he got like one of those channels. I think we got like WGN in Chicago or whatever. And he would watch Jeopardy and like get the answers and then go over to the firehouse and like played it right, where he didn't get all of them right, but he got a lot of them right, and they all just thought he was a fucking genius.
Really?
He was just, which is equally like to memorize like some of the answers. I mean, I would remember a couple of them,
Yeah.
but he was like rattling them all off. What a hustler! What a scam! All right, so let us know. Tweet at us at KFC Radio. Let us know your top 5 game shows, and let's get into our voicemails. Today's voicemails are brought to you by Manscaped. I got this box over here. Let me grab it real quick.
Oh.
For Manscaped, the classy DOP kit
DOP
comes
kit.
with it. You've fully converted me, by the way, because I don't even remember what these things are so like I don't even use these, so like I don't even know what I call them.
You don't use
know
a
what I mean?
DOP kit?
No,
What do you... I guess you don't really like...
I don't travel anywhere.
Travel. You
I don't
go-
ever leave anywhere. But this one's nice. It's got like suede bottom, leather bag, and I mean they've got it all. They've got the lawnmower, which they're now on to the perfect package 3.0. They've got the straight edge razor, and here's an example of all the revival, the crop preserver, the crop revival. I mean they've got it all. These guys think about your dick and balls more than you do. They think about your dick and balls so much. They probably think about your dick and balls as much as your girl does, because she's like, God, it's so terrible down there. And Manscaped's like, we know.
Yeah.
I feel like the CEO of Manscaped is a girl who's like, we gotta clean this shit up. But they've got all the right razors and clippers and trimmers to get rid of the hair and smooth you out. And they've got the lotions, the ointments, the sprays, everything else to kind of keep it smooth and clean and smelling good. And then right now, when you get the perfect package kit, you can get 2 free gifts. It comes with the travel bag. And then the anti-chafing boxers, which helps, moisture wick and helps you keep clean and you don't get chafing and rashes. So after you do all that work, you don't want to put on a pair of shitty boxers that undoes everything you just did. So you got to get the Manscaped anti-chafing boxer briefs on top of it. So both of those things are free when you get the perfect package kit. And you can get 20% off when you go use the promo code KFC. So it's manscaped.com, promo code KFC, 20% off plus free shipping. And when you get the Perfect Package kit, you also get the 2 free gifts. Their tagline is awesome. From the moose to the caboose, we got the job to get the tools done. The tools to get the job done. From the moose.
Is the moose
to the
my
caboose.
penis?
Yeah, because it's like a head and, balls. It's like,
Oh, I just
Yeah.
think of moose as large.
yeah, but
So
I was just going to say that. It's, more like, from the mouse to the house in the back. But, yeah, listen, you want to clean your dick up and make sure you're on point. In the modern world, you got to do it. I mean, you think about all the shit that girls are doing. They're putting all sorts of shit in there. They got to worry about their pH, for fuck's sake.
I
Imagine if you had to worry about your pH.
don't think you have to. I think that's
sir, you do.
I think that's just women putting undue stress upon themselves.
Oh, well, maybe
Bro,
you're
I've
nicer than
never
I am.
fucking eaten a pussy and been like, pH balance is a little off here.
Yeah, but yes, but you, the forever, like, I'm not going to say anything, didn't speak up, but you noticed.
I never noticed. I've never
You just
noticed.
said it.
No, I just said
Oh, you
it.
said you didn't.
I didn't.
Oh, I definitely have.
I
think
have.
you have, and you just don't know what an unbalanced pussy tastes like.
That could very well be.
Yeah.
But I have absolutely never been like.
in my mind, it's like if there's like a taste. Like if you're all right and all clean, it's just like.
It's a penny.
See, I mean, yes, it is, but I feel like if you're getting down,
Dude, I
you know
never
what girls
knew.
need? The Summer's Eve. Summer's Eve is a fucking lifesaver, bro.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
I mean, I know what it is, but I don't. Like, I've heard the phrase Summer's Eve.
Get your pussy right, girl.
Dude, I remember the first time I'd never heard that penny thing before, and I remember I was out to eat with Chaps, and he was like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, pussies taste like pennies, and he was like, he happened to have a penny in his pocket, and he was like, "Smell
Yeah.
this," and I was like, "Oh my god, that's a vagina."
Oh, it's spot on.
Yeah, it's
Dirty
spot
copper.
on.
Dirty copper is what a pussy tastes like. But if you could fix it, wouldn't you? It's like this. It's like you could just roll in there with a bush and fucking, gross, and you'd take care of it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
So yeah, I guess I would.
But this is as simple as like zzz, the hair's gone. Imagine if I was like, well, I don't even know. Is it like a scale of 1 to 10? Like I'm on a 6 at my pH and I got to be at a 4.
I don't. How do they ever know? They don't taste it. Is there a feeling to?
Well, have you ever cleaned a pool? You got to
No.
you got to worry about your pH balance in your pool as well.
I know that.
And you either have these strips. Old school, nowadays you have a strip. You put it in the water and it turns a color and then you hold it up to the chart and you see. Old school, I remember you used to fill up this like little like cylinder with pool water and then you put these drops in it and you shake it up and then the color comes out there. But either way, you're looking at like this color
so women
scale.
do that?
Well, I don't think they do that. So I don't know. It would be funny if you just took these strips and like put them inside and pull it out. You're like, nope, not balanced. I think they just hopefully just wash, like just fucking do what you got to do to be like it's gonna be balanced right.
I guess everyone I've ever been with
Has been clean.
they.
I don't even think it's necessarily like you're dirty. I don't know. It's just like a fucking internal thing.
I don't understand it.
Well, we know that. We don't know shit about pussy. Voicemails. Nick says we got a doozy. So I say we dive right into that one, Nick.
KFC fights super producer BC or Nick and Jackie, first time caller, long time listener. I've got a weird one for you. Definitely don't think you've handled one like this. So I'm 28 years old. I've been married to the girl I have been dating since 14, so that's half our lives spent together. She's the only girl I've ever been with, and only girl I ever will be with. I know that sounds really confident. Like divorce rates are over 50%, but I can say that confidently because I'm actually gay. And she knows. I found this out about 2 years ago, 12 years into our relationship. And I never hid it from her, told her right away, and we decided we still want to stay together. So we actually got married and had our kid all fully knowing I was gay. So we basically established our family as a gay man. But anyway, we are now starting to tell friends. About 5 of our friends know now. They've all been super accepting and supportive. Obviously, they have questions. It's a very weird situation. Not to pretend that it's not. And ideally,
I love this guy's
year,
voice, his cadence.
we would like to have told our entire close friend group, which is about 14 people, 20 if we're counting significant others. So what I'm curious about is after our friend group knows how many of our close friends can I expect to try and have sex with my wife. I don't care. We're in open marriage. Whatever you want.
I don't care.
Weird, right? Anyway,
Did you hear that?
she said
Oh, what'd he
it's
say?
weird. She
Rewind it.
probably wouldn't do it. So it's
That he got too much of a laugh.
have sex with my wife. I don't care. We're in an open marriage. Fuck whoever you want, right? That's the kid in the background. Anyway, she said it'd be weird. She probably wouldn't do it, so it's probably a moot point if you ask me this. I'm just curious, how many of them do you think will make a move? Thanks.
Okay, but we'll get to the question in a minute. We got a lot to unpack here.
There is
so
much.
I love this family.
I think I do too.
Love this family. I think it's incredible. I think it's so fucking modern and mature and like adult. And I mean, shout out to her. She's the real superstar here. You know, he found his way and he like, and shout out to him for being like honest about it and just having the courage to speak up. But for her to be like, you know, we can still do what we do here.
You want to get gay married in an open relationship?
Let's fucking do it.
Like that's
I'll fucking marry you right now.
Essentially, that's what happened, right?
Yeah.
They found just someone they like appreciate and want to spend their life with,
but we haven't
just not
fucked.
someone they want to fuck.
We didn't fuck for many years prior to that.
I don't care.
I'm just saying there is a difference.
There's a difference, but essentially it's the same thing.
Yeah,
like,
no, essentially,
like I like
this
you
is
as
what
a person.
marriage should be. I've always said that connecting like your financial well-being, your financial life to your like emotions is crazy. It's kind of crazy to attach like your familial unit to your relationship. Relationship emotions are so erratic and illogical. And like, you know, for your family and your kids, you need like a rock. You need like a friendship, you know? So have kids with your friends and fuck other people. That's the way family should work.
That's genius.
That's brilliant. This guy just changed the game.
I mean,
like she think about it.
What was her deal when he was like,
she was probably
she
was probably like, I've been fucking other people for a long time. Okay.
I like his I feel like he's not actually gay. He just said that to try and get out of a relationship, and she called his bluff.
Yeah. Well, I think I would rather. I know some people wear it as like a scarlet letter, like you turned someone gay or something like that. I'd rather someone dump me because they're gay than dump me because they don't like me.
Oh, for sure.
Or they don't like me, but they're not attracted. You know, because their body's like rejecting
don't like
me.
Penises.
Yeah. If it was just like if they're like, I have been with you, I like dick, just not like yours and you, and I choose to have you not around. That hurts.
Yeah.
If you just say to me, I'm just being honest. I finally admitted it to myself and you. I don't like your entire gender. I'd be like, cool. But I still, you know, you're still great. Like you still work hard. You're still dedicated. You're still admirable. You raise the kid. Like, let's just keep doing this. I think it's incredible.
So,
and
how did he fuck her to have the kid, or you think it's IVF? I guess
I mean, he was like, I've been with one girl, and like, I think he was fucking her. Probably not like the frequency of a straight couple, and
right?
Like, but I don't think it was.
Oh
like
no, I mean they were together 12 years.
Yeah,
before.
so it was like there was plenty of
you
sex
can't go
being had.
12 years into a relationship.
I think that kid's his.
Is it weird we haven't had sex yet?
I think it's so. I mean,
I think it's his. It's definitely his. But just like, did you do it the old-fashioned way, or did you do it like a little sciencey way?
No, I mean, it sounds like this was like after the fact, after the kid, he admitted it. I think it's so crazy to me. I just being in the closet.
Wait, no, it wasn't after the kid. It was before the kid.
Before the kid came out, and then okay. Because I was like, why would they do it IVF? Oh, so you're saying after the fact? Oh, then maybe it is IVF because it's like I think once you admit to yourself and come out of the closet, do you think
you don't have to keep fucking pussies after that?
Do you think you even could? I can understand. Part of me, it blows my mind. Being in the closet and going through that stress blows my mind. My hat goes off to anybody who did it. Where you're just like, all right, I'll just fuck this girl. I would never be like, I'll just fuck this guy because it's more complicated if I don't. I mean, I just can't. It's not gonna happen. Like, how do you get your dick hard for a pussy if you don't like vaginas? They are scary. You know what I mean?
I mean, if you like vaginas, they're scary.
Right. So, like, how to be able to be like, but I get it where you're like, it's a defense mechanism almost. But once you've come out and it's out there, I don't think you can get hard for the opposite sex anymore ever again. I'm just speculating. But to me, you'd be like, I lived that lie for 12 years, 15 years, 25 years. I can't get it up for pussies anymore.
I'm sick of warm, silky holes.
I know. That's the other thing, too, though. It's like, this objectively feels good on a dick. It just does, okay?
Yeah, it's why you
but I guess you could say,
to jerk off and stuff.
You could say that about assholes, though. It's like when you fuck a girl in the ass, it feels good. So a guy could be like, objectively, this feels good, dude. Like, but no.
That's true.
You know, it's like, yeah, but my balls are slapping yours, so that's a problem, dude. But yeah, it's a funny world. Now, I would say it's probably going to be a difficult conversation to have with your kids one day. But like, I'm going to have to, like plenty of people have to have like weird conversations with their kids.
I don't think you have to tell them.
Well, I guess you could just say you were divorced.
Huh?
You could just say like you're divorced.
They're not divorced.
But like mommy and like they're, I mean, I'm assuming they're eventually he's gonna be with a man. She's gonna go find a man she likes.
I don't think so.
Oh, I definitely think so. I think then otherwise there's no point to even like bring any of this up. I think she's gonna go like find another man for sure.
Oh, I hadn't.
You think they're just
that.
gonna remain celibate?
I think not celibate. They're in an open marriage. They fuck other people.
Oh, okay, fine. So maybe they don't get married again or have, but like when mommy goes out on a date or some shit like that, you just hide that for their entire lives.
Fuck it, I'd never ask questions. Like, yeah, you going to work? Okay, see you later.
But what about when you're like 25? It's one thing when you're a kid and you can get around that.
When you're 25, I don't think you'd notice either. I wouldn't know. Like when I was 25.
Also, by then you're probably not like fucking. You know, it's like when your parents like 65. It's not like they're like going out on dates getting banged out.
Right.
You know?
I think
maybe they are. These two have flipped
the
the script.
You're just chilling in the home watching TV.
See-
You just got someone you like who you watch TV with.
Right. Oh, that's amazing. God, that sounds great. That was my biggest problem in marriage was like I couldn't, we couldn't do that.
Right.
There's a lot of things, but like that to me is that's when it gets like overbearing, where it's like I can't even like go home. Like we fight all the time. We can't just hang out and watch TV. We can't have fun together. Forget about like the rest of it. So if you can just continue to do that and you just find the sex elsewhere, I'm telling you, having sex with your spouse is the worst thing possible. It is the most complicated thing ever. You just do it with someone else. If everybody agreed to do it with someone else. See, because I remember thinking like, I'm unhappy.
See, I wouldn't be able to do that though. I mean, obviously, if we're in a gay relationship or if I'm gay, it's different. But like, if you were in an open marriage, a heterosexual open marriage, I couldn't do that. I couldn't swing that.
Because you'd be jealous of them getting fucked?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
I agree. But that is a thing that like, that is a kind of, I think it's, I don't want to, the word immature is too strong, but it's a little bit, it's an emotion that like you could get over if you like, that is kind of something I think you're kind of like, it's an insecurity of yours to be like,
Yeah,
right.
It's absolutely insecure.
Right. But I'm saying if you weren't, you could get over that. Like you could do it. It's not something that's like that, like completely unbelievable to be like, I'm going to have sex with this person. That's going to make me happy. And you're going to have sex with that person. And like, I'm going to get over my insecurity and we're going to make this work.
I don't think I could.
No, I will not begrudge anybody who could not get over it because that's like the number
you just
one
come home
thing.
and just get into bed after just having sex with someone else. I would not be thrilled about that.
Right. But again, that is something that I do think that's like part of me thinks that's natural and like you're programmed to be like that's my girl. Like, but part of me thinks that is a little like society has kind of created that. And if you can navigate that, again, not for everybody, and I don't begrudge anybody who can't, but if you can, I think you unlock like a higher level of relationship. I think it's like the galaxy brain thing. It's like I have sex with my spouse. It's a normal brain. Like I have an open relationship. I have a gay open relationship. I have a gay open relationship with my kid. Like galaxy brain. These gonna be the happiest motherfuckers in the world.
You think so?
I just think that it's like you get your. I think if you have sex with someone else, again, it's yes and no, because part of me thinks someone's gonna catch feelings, someone's gonna get insecure, someone's feelings are gonna get hurt. If somehow,
I think that's in a heterosexual. I think if you're gay, there's no jealousy.
Like if that guy can't, if she comes home and she's like, oh my God, this dude just banged me out. You think he's like, oh, word, can I get his number?
Yeah.
Like they're just girlfriends about it?
Like, what was his dick like?
Yeah.
I think so.
Show me pictures.
I mean, I don't think he wants to. I don't think he asked for his number or her number.
Yeah.
But like, I bet like, you can have
so happy.
an actual discussion about
So happy.
how sex went.
If it is hetero, it gets wildly complicated. But I do think if you can, same thing. It's just like open relationships in general. It's just like that ain't for me. But there are people who are like, I don't value monogamy or whatever on the same level you do, so I can do this. It's not for you, but it's for me, and they're probably really fucking happy because they just have someone who they.
I don't think anyone's happy. I think
in an open relationship or just period.
Just period.
Yeah, I agree.
I disagree with people who are like.
I
don't fundamentally don't understand it.
I think that we have reached a point where everybody in the world is independent enough and has their own hopes, dreams, career, ambition, ability to achieve all those things. And really, like they call it settling down for a reason because you like settle, you know what I mean? And I think on some level, everybody just ends up being a little bit resentful of like I could have done this or I should have done that. And I ended up like, we're good together, but like you hold me back from this or that thing or whatever. Just over the course of time, eventually you're going to be like a little resentful of someone, right?
I would think so.
Over 20, 30, 40 years. So can you ever really...
I don't think I've ever resented anybody though. And obviously
resent is such a weird word. Like usually I resent.
I resent myself.
I hate them. I think you resent meaning like there's something about you that you're not doing anything wrong, but let's be honest, like I could have done X, Y, Z or what, whatever it is, that being in this like relationship where you have to give up some of yourself. You have to be like, I think we have reached a point in the world where everyone's pretty selfish and being in a relationship is selfless. And eventually part of you is going to be like, well, I could have been more about me, and if they don't reciprocate. Yeah. But again, with this like gay twist, maybe not. It's like, you didn't hold me back from shit. Now, to his question, I don't think this changes. I think we've had this discussion before. I think I asked you, like, if I went gay, would you like fuck? And you said no. I mean,
no,
I think close friends still respect it no matter what.
You have some kind of bond. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
If you go gay, I'm not fucking your wife. That's just.
What if I was like, I condone it, or like you know what? Because
then I wouldn't do it either. I'm like, he wants
weird.
me to.
Yeah, but how about this? Like, you have some sort of love for this girl. Clearly, it's the mother of your kid. You have this bond that I think is like 1 in a trillion. So you could argue that you're like the best relationship ever. Would I want to know that she's in like good hands or some shit, or like with some stranger she met at the club? Maybe I want you to fuck my wife. Maybe like, I know that guy. He's like clean. He's good. He's gonna treat her right. Like, it's better him than fucking some guy she meets in an alleyway or some fucking crazy meets on an ant.
There's a happy medium there.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like, all right, I met this guy on Tinder and fucked him tonight. It's like, well, I don't know. I would fuck John. He probably would like buy you dinner too.
Yeah, I definitely would.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all about you.
You would treat my ex wonderfully, man. I mean, I think you got some bad friends though. If it's just like, what? You're gay? Floodgates. Let's fuck Stacy.
Right.
Let's gangbang her. He's a fucking gay. Let's bang her. I mean, that is some extreme shit right there. But man, what a story. And I just love like, that's the kid in the back.
That's the kid in the back.
You can tell. I mean, and you can tell from his voice that he's just like, he's not like embarrassed. He's not humiliated by it. He's totally secure. And he's just like, yeah, here's my story.
I don't think I would tell my friends.
I mean, I'm sure it took a long time. I don't think I just told him right away, but I think eventually you have to. I think eventually that's a lie that like you just.
Yeah, that's true. I'd probably get drunk night one and tell him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think you say that and then you'd get on the podcast like, yo, I got a story.
Yeah. Yeah. So it came out to my girlfriend the other day. She wants to get married.
I wonder if I would imagine if you have kids and this marriage and everything that it would come as a surprise. But I wonder if they're like, yeah, man, like we knew this whole time. I feel like that probably happens.
It's like an
more
Out
often than you
Cold
think.
when they come out.
I mean, I don't remember it well enough for that.
What a movie. Out Cold, he's like, they're like, I have an announcement. He's not making the announcement they all think. And they're just like, you're gay?
Yeah.
And he's like, what? Me? Guys, it's actually Roy from The Office.
I am now
come
putting
on,
that together.
me.
Yes,
like,
yes.
Fuck you. I'm gay? Yeah, right. They're like, yo, we've all known forever. No one cares.
I bet you it's like that. I bet you more often than not in general it's like that with people coming out. It's probably like the worst kept secret.
I feel like you can usually tell.
Yeah. And then, but with this one, maybe not. It's like been years and family and marriage, but God, I love them.
I love for them to just call up all the time and just let us know what's going on in your life.
I love
because that should be a reality TV show.
It really should.
I don't care for reality
and
TV.
You
I
can
might
come
watch
up with
that.
like a clever name, like a double entendre about like open marriage and gay and whatever it is. But honestly,
I'm gay. My
to
wife
me-
doesn't care.
Just be like gay and proud. Like I'm proud of it, and we're just doing it. I think that I have thought through every variation of relationships and monogamy and open relationships and marriage and everything, just trying to figure out like what I did wrong, what I did right, what I should do next, what am I about, what do I want, what do I not want. And I think ultimately what I realized is like I probably would function better in a vacuum in some sort of modern, alternative, open thing. But knowing that it's like, because it's weird from everyone else would be like my problem.
Right.
Like I still have insecurities and I still would be weirded out by things and I still would be nervous that other people would judge because everyone else, if everyone did it, I'd be down.
Mm-hmm.
But because it would just be me, I'd be like, I have to explain to people and then they're going to judge me. And I still have some insecurities about it because it's not a normal thing that I can talk to with you. Like if both of us were like, man, doesn't it suck when like your girlfriend bangs other guys, you know? But if you bear that by yourself, it sucks. So until the entire rest of the world changes,
Just swallow it.
Hopefully not literally, but who knows? Who knows? Wow. That one, put it in the history books.
That's
KFC radio and just like the literal like relationship history books.
That's the kid in the back.
That's the yeah, that's the fucking kid. That's what I'm talking about. That's my little like gay straight trophy. Whatever. Gonna tell him one day. Wow.
Hi, KFC Fights. Love you. So me and my friend were just walking around Philly, and we were talking about if you got kidnapped, how much money do you think your friends and family would pay
That's a great
in
question.
ransom to get you back? Let me know.
Wow.
Thank you.
It's going to be a real look in the mirror moment.
Not a lot. No, actually.
That's not true. That's not true. I'd pay a lot to get you back. I would. Selfishly, because I don't have a show with that shit. I'd be doing like a cost analysis. I'd be like, all right, well, if he's gone, we lose like this much money per year. If he's here, all right, it makes more money. It makes more sense to bring him back. You know, I think my family would pay a decent amount of money to get me back, but I think there would be financial implications. I think they'd be like, you know, he's got like a payday coming. If I didn't have any money coming, I don't know. I think they'd be like, he had a good enough life.
I wouldn't want them to pay to get me back.
Really?
Because then I just feel bad the whole rest of my life.
You never want. Is it you who said recently? Was it on radio or here? Someone was like, I always go down on the girl because I pay my debts.
I do.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I said that.
Somebody was like, yeah, I'll never like just get a blowjob because I don't want to owe anybody anything.
I think, okay, that does sound like me.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
might be something.
I want a clean ledger. So you come back and your family paid like $750,000 for you to come home. And it's like,
I'd be like, I gotta live a $750,000
I can't-
life now.
yeah,
Like,
right. I gotta-
I disagree with your cost analysis of me. Like,
you show up like drunk to like Thanksgiving and it's like, $750K for this, John?
Yeah.
$750K for you to fucking make fun of Nana blacked out at Thanksgiving, you piece of shit. You're a real scumbag, you know that?
yeah, that's like, I think it's just easier to let
Honestly,
me go.
though, but okay. Being real, your family would pay every dime they have.
Probably.
And I think my family would too.
yeah.
And I think you have a shitty family if they wouldn't.
Yeah,
I would
that's
pay
true.
every, if it fell on me, I would pay probably like all my money to get back like right now. If Tommy Smokes was kidnapped and they put it on you, wouldn't you do it just because it's like, well, if I don't do it, I'm like a fucking asshole. It's like, I don't really care about if I get Tommy back, but I have to like tell the Scabellis like, nope.
Yeah, it was up to
Nope.
me, and I decided, no, thank you.
Yeah, I mean that you can't have that. You talk about having something on your ledger when you die. It's like you walk around with that guilt. I just let that A-boy die because I just didn't, I wanted to keep my money. It's like Johnny Bananas when he stole all that money and he didn't steal it, but Johnny Bananas, that's a game show. Probably should have put on there. Honorable mention, the challenge, Nick. But it came down to like him and his partner, and it's like, you can split the money or take it. And he was like, that's fucking mine.
Oh, that's right. That was
He
him.
took like $250,000 or like $500,000 from this girl, and he's like, he doesn't lose a wink of sleep over it. But I would walk around every day being like, oh no, I don't know if I made the right choice. But if I had to like, I would probably, for a perfect stranger almost, if I got put on the spot and it was publicly known that it's my
Well, publicly known, it's a different.
yeah. But if it's okay, so if it's a total stranger and I'm publicly known, I have to pay all my money. If it's an acquaintance and their family knows, I'm probably still doing it then too.
Yeah. Dude, imagine if someone did it to you publicly. We're like,
Fucked.
Like
Fucked.
some
that
dude.
that's a form of like ransom in a way. Like we'll make him pay them. You know what I mean? Like
Some-
we'll just say he's got to do it.
Some fucking terrorist in El Salvador gets on the screen and is like, in order for you to get Enrique back, John
Evan Clancy, yeah.
Feidelberg must say. I mean, what the fuck, man?
Why me? You know what? You would be so susceptible to that. They'd be like the terrorists, like the Al Qaeda would be like, we've done an entire analysis of all of America. We have found like the one man we can bully into this, who's got like a decent, like a nice chunk of money. It's John Feidelberg.
They should do that with fucking. Right now, anyone who kidnaps anyone should like put it on like Tom Cruise.
Yeah, right.
Imagine that.
I mean, you have to
In
pay.
order
it.
for this money, like Tom Cruise has to give us $50,000.
Yeah, make it a reasonable amount. Make it so that Tom will be like, all right, fine, like I'll cut the check. Because he has to for PR reasons.
Yeah.
And he's got it. That's the best way to get ransom money. We got to start kidnapping people. We're brilliant.
I think that's a great
By
idea.
the way, did you see that stunt that he did?
Yeah.
I mean, I know that Tom Cruise does his own stunts. Everybody always says, like, oh, the Tom Cruise running. It's actually him. He runs fast. I didn't know he was fucking jumping motorcycles
just-
off of mountains.
Yeah.
Did he have like a parachute?
He had a parachute on, yeah.
But he just did that and then deployed it and then like, I mean, then even then you're still like fucking floating down a mountainside,
And and he does those a lot.
all the time. It's
Like,
just like
but like you like that wasn't like they didn't nail the take that time.
right.
I'm sure they
Oh,
do
you mean
it,
that
like-
that one thing? A million
dude, it
times.
hit the
Yeah,
halo
yeah.
jump in Mission Impossible 6
What's the halo jump?
when he like it's high altitude, low oxygen jumps.
Oh,
I
okay.
believe.
Yeah, yeah,
Is that
yeah, yeah.
something like that.
Right.
And like it's with him and fucking what's his name, fucking Henry Cavill,
Mm-hmm.
and Tom Cruise had to do that 100 times.
My God.
100.
How much? I mean, he must get paid so much.
I
Like his agent must be like, all right, well, he risks his life like 250 times a shoot. So like,
it was
unless
the,
I could also see him being like, I do this for free.
like Ray Lewis, like
Yeah.
you pay me for the fucking drama scenes.
Right.
This shit,
I like this
You
shit.
pay me from Monday through Saturday.
Right.
Sunday I give you free.
Yeah, it's such a great line.
What was it? It's 25,000 feet. It's a long jump. Even when I've gone skydiving, we only go 10,000.
Right.
25.
That's what my man David Blaine did the other day. Hopped on the balloons. 52 balloons. Went 20.
Fucking asshole.
Listen. Watch your tone.
You're a Blaine guy?
I mean, I feel like I'm family with David Blaine. Like I made fun of him on my 1 Minute Man, but I highly respect him. Big time. Remember MTV Made? Like where it was like, you want to be this for a day? I would be David Blaine.
Really?
I just respect the fuck out of him. I said he's like the kid in elementary school who's like, yo, you want to see me eat this shit? And it's like, I
Yeah.
didn't, but okay. Or the icy hot guy, like I'll put icy out on my balls. It's like, I wasn't planning on it, but okay. That's him with like, hey, you want to watch me just stand on top of a pole for 39 hours? It's like, okay.
Yeah,
Sure, dude. But yeah, flew 52 hot air balloons. How annoying is this? He went 24,900 feet. Like, you got to hit 25. Or you got to have the guys back on the ground and be like, you hit 25.
Right.
But then he had he pulled a rope and brought the parachute down and got into it. So, like, the whole time he was holding on, he was in, like, a harness, but he didn't actually have a parachute on.
Really?
And then while, like, he held on, but then, like, pulled this thing down, and I guess was able to let go at some point, but, like, then suited up the parachute. That's pretty fucking. I gave him a hard time on the video just for effect, but like as far as nets and harnesses and shit go, that's some badass shit.
You ever seen
And he needed oxygen and everything.
You ever seen the video of the guy who jumps out without a parachute? Just lands in a big net?
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. But almost in a way, what would you trust more? A net or like I would always be worried like this is the parachute that's not going to deploy. Or it's going to get tangled or something.
well,
a giant net, you can see it's like there's a whole fucking net there.
Yeah,
It's
but
not going anywhere.
Worry about fucking missing
Ripping
it,
it.
Kevin.
Well, I mean, I imagine they're just gargantuan, no?
I mean, it wasn't like stunningly huge. It's big, no doubt.
Yeah.
But like, I mean,
It's
you're
the size
jumping
of like a football field?
out of a plane.
Yeah,
you
it's like
could
there's a
miss
big
it.
margin for error.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I hope I'm at the right moment. Like, if you hesitate for a second, you miss
Right,
it. Planes go
right.
fucking 500 miles an hour.
That's so true. Yeah, you jump like now instead of now. And you're not even close.
Right.
Not for me. All right, interview time. Dr. Phil is back. He's the best. The fact that man's worth $600 million and he takes the time to just like bullshit with us and he does it with that like accent.
Yeah.
He's just the man. So we did some Am I the Asshole with him. We talked about some of our issues and then we get into the Ellen situation with my good friend Philip. Brought to you by New Amsterdam Vodka, specifically Pink Whitney. Pink Whitney is the official official drink of the NHL. Poor Frankie Borelli. Not looking good. Not looking good for his Islanders, and also his dad. His dad also smashed him with a chair. His dad also threw a knife at the patrons of the restaurant and smashed him with a chair. If you have not seen that video, the
Is
juxtaposition of Frankie and his dad hugging each other after game, whatever that was, and then the game that they lost, his dad literally throws a knife in the air. Frankie collapses to the ground, and Mr. Borelli picks up a chair from the Borelli's restaurant, lifts it over his head, and just smashes it down on Frankie, which I did confirm it hit him.
It did hit
It hit him in the
Okay.
legs. It didn't like smash his head, but I was like, you know what? He probably like snuck away and
Yeah,
moved.
yeah. That's
He was
what I
still
figured.
laying there,
No.
and he just smashed him, and I was like, wow, like your dad was like, he must have been like hamming it up for the camera, huh? He was like, you think? He threw a fucking chair at me. Awesome moment. Awesome. And if they just had, some Pink Whitney on hand, some New Amsterdam, maybe they could have just
It's a much better way to drown your sorrows rather
than
get hit with
violence.
chairs.
Than
Yeah.
violence. But the live streams have been electric. So whether you're going to throw chairs, throw knives, or just, win, lose, whatever with the NHL, whenever you're kicking back and watching some Stanley Cup playoffs, drink some official vodka of the NHL, drink some New Amsterdam vodka, drink some Pink Whitney. And I'm going to need it now too. I'm not a hockey guy, but maybe I should have been because the Islanders would have been like the thing that brought me the most joy.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably going to lose this series. The Lightning are just Lightning are a great franchise in like sports. I mean, the Tampa Bay Lightning have been around for like every year. They're just like always in the mix. They got a cup,
they're
right?
so good, and their captain isn't playing.
Who's the captain?
Steven Stamkos.
Wow.
Stamkos isn't playing, and they're a fucking whack.
Was that an opt-out or is he injured? Or
No, he's hurt. I think he's been skating. Like there's a chance he.
Oh wow!
returns
Even
to
imagine
Cup
that
finals.
shit. So Lightning fans, bring out some Whitney to celebrate. Islanders fans, bring out some New Amsterdam to drown your sorrows. Everyone else can enjoy it. Get it at your local liquor store or on the website. Go to New Amsterdam and get your Pink Whitney. Let's talk to him.
Oh,
There he is.
Dr. Phil, what's going on, bud?
Hey, what's happening, guys?
How
Good.
are
you
we?
doing?
Long time since I was in your office.
I
Yeah.
know, but we've moved offices since then. In fact,
We upgraded a little bit. The last time we had you in was our office that was pretty much embarrassing, and now we've got a little bit more of a legit setup.
Yeah, you look like you're in the studio there.
Yeah, back at it. And you look like you're in a fake library, I'll be honest. Those books are not real books, are they?
They actually are. This is not a virtual background. I'm in a, but they are staged. It's not like a real library. They're staged, but it is a real background.
they're staged very nice.
It looks sharp. That's all that matters.
It looks like I'm gonna say goth architecture back there.
Oh,
it looks like you're in a
wow.
church.
Yeah,
it's very
sure.
sharp looking.
Yeah. Well, good. So I'm very holy today. Then.
So we just saw a TikTok that you posted right before we got going here where you were requesting that the internet stops calling you daddy, which is, first of all, it's amazing. That TikTok's amazing. Second of all, the fact that everyone does call you daddy, it sounds like it makes you a little uncomfortable, but it's a huge compliment, Phil. It's a great one.
No, it's just a big joke. There's a trend on TikTok. You've got to stop and then fill in the sentence. So I filled in the sentence, calling me daddy.
By the way, it's a
But
bad
it's-
sign when Dr. Phil's telling us the TikTok trends.
Yeah.
We gotta get up on our trends.
I
man.
was unaware of that fact.
Yeah, that was a number one trend on TikTok. So they asked me to fill in the sentence. So I was teasing a lot of my followers. We have a lot of fun. They know it's a joke.
That is
I don't
good
mind
though.
Being called daddy.
If someone says, "Hey, fill in the blank," you got to stop, and your first reaction is calling me daddy. I mean, you got it going on,
Has
man.
that been going on for a long time now?
Oh yeah, go back look at my Instagram. I mean, it doesn't matter what I put. I can put up a picture of a bird or a book, whatever. The response is daddy.
Now, what do you think makes someone call someone daddy? Because not to brag, Dr. Phil, but it's happened to me one time. And we were in the sheets, we were mixing it up, and it was a long time ago. It was before it was ever really a trend.
I think his girl was the first person to call him daddy because it was like 10 years ago.
it was not my girl. It was a girl.
The girl he was with. Yes.
And it was 9 years ago, let's say, something along those lines. And I got a daddy in my ear. And I'll tell you what, Dr. Phil, it took me aback very strongly. What inspires someone to say something
What's
like
the
that?
psychology behind that?
Well, I think it's I think they're teasing me as an authority figure. I think they maybe see me as the principal at school or something.
I was in school for quite a while. I never called the principal daddy.
Are you keeping up with any of the other internet trends? Because there's a couple others that like have you ever seen on Twitter where they say bumbaclot?
Say what?
Yeah, exactly. They say you just post a picture and you say bumbaclot, and then the people just react however they want to react, right? I don't even know.
It goes viral almost every time I see.
It's just bumbaclot. Next time you want to really, you know what? Do me a favor. Post something on Twitter and just say bumbaclot, and people will go wild for it.
All right, I'll take the dare.
What about the phrase if I say to you, no cap? Have you ever heard that?
No cap?
Yeah. Means like no bullshit, I'm not lying, no cap. You drop that as well, people will be...
I think they threw that one at me one time with Visco Girl and a couple of others that I had no idea.
Yep, you know.
It was, yeah, they have great fun humiliating me on the internet. So
that's what the internet's for.
Yeah, that's really the whole point of the
I'm a
internet.
willing participant, so it's okay.
How now? I'm gonna talk to the Dr. Phil here. how bad do you think the internet is going to affect us long term? Because we talk about this a lot, and you just said, like, they're teasing me and whatnot, and those things are all, you can either ignore them if it's genuine hate, or you can kind of participate and lean into it if it's fun teasing. But either way, I think it's going to have a severe effect on our long-term psychology, let's say 15, 20 years down the road.
Well, there is no question that look how much it's changed. How many times have you walked around, you see people like this? You never saw that before, and hey, that's probably going to ruin our necks.
Yep. They actually said that some millennials are almost growing like a bone spur out of the bottom of their neck because their heads are always down.
Yeah, and we're going to have some kind of thumb thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, carpal tunnel. We're going to have thumb tunnel or something. But, I think there are pros and cons. I mean, kids now have no idea that a library is a big brick building with books in it.
Right.
Because you can Google anything. We used to have to go to the library, of course, so that's a big change. I think social skills, looking people in the eye, actually having a relationship, I think that erodes some. But there's great positives to it. There's a lot of power that Gen Z has because they can fact check somebody giving a speech while they're giving it. Somebody can say something, they can fact check it while they're saying it.
Right.
And like, excuse me. So, I mean, there are pros and cons to it. What I hate about it is young people that measure their self-worth and self-esteem based on likes. And they'll put up a picture and it doesn't get as many likes as yesterday, so they feel down. And then they get the haters. They let the haters get to them. And I've dealt with so many stories where particularly girls have taken their own life. One girl hung herself last week, and who knows what all the reasons were, but there was a lot of activity on her internet of people telling her, why don't you just go kill yourself? Nobody likes you. Everybody hates you. And sure enough, she hung herself. Now, was it because of that or something else? We don't know, but I think that's a huge negative.
Well, I think the ability it's given to anonymous folks to be mean, like teasing is not a new thing, right? Being mean at a young age or at an old age, it's been around forever. Being rude and awful to people, we've really perfected it. But now with everyone you can make 10 accounts and she can think everyone's telling her to kill herself, and it's just this one person who doesn't like her, and you don't have to say it to her face, and you can be as rude as possible. There's really no consequences to the actions. And I think you said it good too with, like the picture you posted today didn't have as many likes as yesterday. I'm a 32-year-old adult man, and that bothers me. Right. I can't imagine what it does to a
teenage girl, a teenage kid. Yeah.
Yeah, and I call them keyboard bullies. They say things there that they would not say to you in the elevator.
Yeah, right.
If you got in the elevator with somebody, they wouldn't say some of the shit they type out on that because they don't have to face you. And if you've got people that have poor self-esteem or ill-defined self-image, those people really get to them. The haters get to them, and it bothers them. And I'm fortunately one of those people that does not have the need to be loved by strangers. So I don't really care what they say.
I don't think I have that need to be loved either, but no one likes to be told you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, I don't care if you like me, but if you're just always
But I
rude
prefer
to
you
me,
don't hate
it
me.
hurts me.
Yeah.
Nobody likes to read trash about themselves on the internet. I mean, trust me, you don't have to need to be loved by strangers for that to bother you. But I think young kids are vulnerable to it. You have insight to it. You understand that it bothers you. And so you're aware of it. Kids don't have the conversation with themselves that you just had with yourself. And so they go back in their bedroom and it really bothers them.
Well, it bothers me in my bedroom too. One of the things we do on our show is we go through a Reddit page called Am I the Asshole, which is it's usually a couple or a person in a social situation asking, am I right or am I wrong? And we ran into two that I thought were very particularly interesting, and I'd like to get your insight on it. The first one was basically a guy in a relationship who his girlfriend and his father both made him throw out. He collected action figures and played with figurines, and that was his passion. And he would wait till everyone goes to sleep at night, and he would play with them, alone. And he knew it was a little bit, immature and childish, but it was, his thing. and they wanted him to throw it out. He said no, and then they just took them and threw them out without asking him. And so the question was like, who's in the wrong
And
here?
they made it clear that the wife who was writing this article made it clear, like, and can you believe he even cried when we threw away the toys? And
Right.
he's a child. He threw a temper tantrum. They
Like
put
it-
a lot of negative connotations into his emotions.
And we just kind of tackled it as like, I think a lot of times guys particularly are forced to give up, what they like or love, or it's deemed, silly or childish to like some of the things they do. And at the end of the day, we think it's just like that's their hobby or that's what makes them happy. Like, what advice would you give for someone who's in that spot?
She threw all of his stuff out.
Yes.
Her and his father.
His father.
Yeah. I got a real problem with that.
Yeah.
there
Thank
we
you.
go. Thank you.
Thank
Doctor.
you.
People
The-
thought we
I got
were
a
crazy because we were on his
Yeah,
side.
the amount of people who are like, come on, you're a grown man. You shouldn't be playing with dolls and toys. It's like, yeah, listen, maybe it's a little bit unorthodox, but who fucking cares? Let this guy live.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm not saying I don't care what it was they threw out. Now, if let me be clear about that. If they got in there and found something illegal like child pornography or
Right.
something,
Yeah, something
whatever.
dangerous.
Okay, now
yeah.
call the law and put his ass under the jail.
Mhm.
But if you're just not liking what he likes and you throw it away, kiss my ass. You don't have the right to throw his stuff away.
Amen.
Like I've got a lot of T-shirts that are, well, I like to call them vintage. Robin likes to call them future rags that you can dust with. But I wear them. I play tennis in them every day because they're comfortable, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're comfortable, but they got holes in them here and there. But she would never throw them out because I like them.
Right. Like you just got to respect what your partner likes.
Embarrassed for me to wear them, but I like them. You don't take somebody's stuff and throw them out. What a bitch!
And she made it clear too. It was almost like she was arguing against herself. She made it very clear that they have a happy relationship, that he always makes time for her. It's not an addiction or anything like that. He usually goes and plays with them once she goes to bed. It's his escape. It's his little time to shut himself off from the world,
to get away from his bitch girlfriend,
and just participate in something he likes.
His dad was in on this. His dad needs to mind his own damn business.
That's right. And the problem with it was too, one of the problems, obviously there were a couple, was that she was pregnant and they were going to use that room that he uses for the baby's room, for the cradle and things like that. What better room to give to a child than a room full of toys? Like, why do you have to clean that room out?
But you know what? You negotiate those things. So maybe if they need the room, fine. I get it. Negotiate it. But you don't go throw it out after he's gone to bed. What's up with that?
And what about this? Where do you draw the line between you're helping someone maybe improve themselves versus you're trying to change them? Like I feel like a lot of times a girl will get a guy to dress quote unquote better, but you're really changing like his style, or we're gonna go to these type of places now. We're not gonna hang out at the spots you used to have. Is there a level of that that's good, or is that always like you're trying to change the person and you should just go find a different partner who embodies the things you like?
Look, relationships are negotiations, and the negotiation never ends. It's an ongoing sort of thing. And if you're wanting to negotiate for him or her to change a habit or a pattern, that's fine, but it's always up to them. If they decide, okay, hey, you got a good point, so we'll go to a different restaurant or hang out at a different place or something, that's fine. But you don't dictate it, you negotiate it.
Now, what about instead of negotiation, you just subtly insult it every time they do it? How's that for health?
Well, that's a negotiation ploy.
That's a tactic. Yeah.
Just very subtle digs every time they do something you don't like.
Yeah. So where is it you're going that she doesn't like?
The bar every night.
They got a little too close to home there. I had a feeling.
Just hypothetically speaking on that one. The other situation we ran into was a gentleman who proposed to his girlfriend, and he kind of did it, admittedly, the first time was like they were laying in bed, and it wasn't very romantic. He was kind of like, hey, do you want to get engaged? And it was over COVID, right?
Yes.
So it was in quarantine. He couldn't, quite carry out the plan. So he said, let's get married. But hey, I promise at one point I'll give you the romantic engagement. Then he does what he thought was romantic. She said, that still really wasn't what I had planned. He went back to the drawing board again. He did that 3 more times.
One of them took her on vacation. They stayed in like a nice hotel, proposed to her on the balcony, I believe.
Music, like he kept upping the romance.
She
and
also
every
said
time,
that one, no thank you.
She kept saying, like, nope, that's still not what I had envisioned, and I want to remember this for the rest of my life, so go back to the drawing board again. I think he ended up having to propose 4 or 5 times, and each time she rejected it. What would you say there, Dr. Phil?
Man, you should have taken that first rejection and hit the road.
Amen. I firmly believe if you propose, you should absolutely know with certainty you've got a yes in the bag. Do you agree?
100%.
Yeah. You can't be like
100%.
a spontaneous thing. It's got to be,
If you really don't know what the answer is, you're not ready to ask.
There you go.
You hit the nail on the head there. There's a reason you're Dr. Phil.
That's the old, if you can't afford it, if you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Yeah,
that's exactly the same thing here.
Yeah, I mean, it's like lawyers will tell you. You'd never ask a question in court that you don't know the answer to.
Right.
I mean, you don't ever ask a girl, Mary, if you don't know what she's going to say. Are you kidding me, you idiot?
How did you propose?
We just had our 44th anniversary.
Wow, congratulations.
And we were together like 5 years before that. And we were spending a whole lot of time together. And she asked me, are we ever going to like get married? And I said, I'm really not ready to do that. So she said, bye.
Really? Oh, wow. And you came running, didn't you?
And that came up right at Christmas vacation when we were in college. And I spent about 2.5 weeks without her in my life every day. And I actually kind of dated around a little bit.
And had a fun 2.5 weeks.
Then I would go home afterwards and call her and talk to her till 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought, who am I kidding here?
That's young though. So you were engaged in college?
This was graduate school.
Oh, okay. All right. So a little bit later.
Yeah.
I like picturing Dr. Phil being the no, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up, Daddy.
No, I think it was me falling asleep and she was still talking. But after that, it was like, who am I kidding here? So I said, look, you're absolutely right.
Win.
We should definitely get married. Yeah. So
now, how about this?
I
now things were definitely different 44 years ago. Why didn't she pop the question?
That's right.
How about you get down on a knee and ask me to be your betrothed?
You play a little hardball, Phil.
As I look back on this, I think she was definitely in control of the whole situation.
She knew exactly the whole time. That's what women are great at, making you think that, you have a say in this.
I think it was.
Yeah, always. Another discussion we've been having here in the past couple of days is regarding texting. We were talking about how much you can text and what's kind of a good amount and an unhealthy amount. And I was saying, I found myself in a situation where I text a lot in the beginning when it's, happy and fun and you want to talk to someone, but then you almost set this expectation that you're supposed to text, 18 hours a day. And if you're not texting, then where are you or what's going wrong or whatever? How do you think you should handle that in a relationship?
Well, I think it's really important that you think about it going in because you don't want to set a standard you can't keep or they're going to call you on bait and switch. Okay, when you were after me, it was like you just couldn't text enough. And then now we're together and all of a sudden I can't find you with both hands. So you got to be careful that you don't set a standard that you can't keep. So you got to be real careful and be thoughtful about setting a standard going in.
That's the one I nailed.
So you think like in the beginning, let's say you're really, you're in the honeymoon phase and you're all schmoopy head over heels. I'm going to text her right now. You think you should say to yourself like, no, I'm not going to right now because I got to think about down the road.
Well, there's an infatuation phase and you both have fun with that, but you do need to think about the fact, is she aware of what's happening here. Because you do things early on that you don't do later, but don't set a standard you can't keep. If she's going to hold you to that, you got to think about this. If you start buying huge gifts in the beginning, what are you going to do later?
Right.
It's a hard act to follow.
I'm amazing at that.
John keeps the bar real low.
I'm really good at just being like, look, this is what I am.
This is it. Yeah.
This is what you get. I forget days. I forget to reply to text. I'm not very good looking. This is just what I don't dress up. I'm like, this is it. This is it. You want this? That's your own funeral, but this is it.
Yeah. Then you got nothing to live up to, right?
Right, exactly. Bar has always been on the floor, and I don't bend over to pick it up because it hurts my back.
That's right. You can't fall off the floor, so you do what you got.
Amen.
Now, you have season 19 of Dr. Phil coming up, correct?
Crazy.
Yes.
Was that all filmed pre-corona, or did you do that kind of like post?
No, we finished up last season shooting from home because they shut down Paramount Lot.
Wow.
And we've come back now with very rigorous guidelines with a COVID-19 task force. We can't have an audience. We can't have any guests that are flown in. So they either have to drive in or we have to do them virtually, and our audience is virtual. But I felt like we wanted to have a branded product like they had seen for the last 18 years. So we are back on the lot. We are back on the stage. We've got the screens. We've got the graphics. We've got the video packages. We're delivering what we did the first 18 years. It's not a scaled down version. It's the full Dr. Phil experience that we've had before, but it took a lot to get there, I got to tell you.
What do you think something like this is going to do? Because I know when Corona started and people were talking about mental health and in quarantine, I think everywhere is kind of branched out and there's much less quarantine going on now. But just the 3 months of living in your home, how do you think that will affect people? And even just all the testing and the masks and the fear of fellow humans.
Paranoia, yeah.
How do you think that's going to? Do you think that will have a long-term effect on us, or do you think once we have a vaccine, we'll be good?
I do think it has a long-term effect, and research has shown in other circumstances and situations, loneliness has a profound effect. It has a profound effect on our kids being out of school. They're developmentally delayed. They're educationally delayed. They're missing, older kids are missing graduation and prom and stuff, and that's a problem for them. The younger kids are not getting the educational experience. They'll be less competitive, and there's research that suggests they may never close the gap. Wow. So this is a profound effect to have this extended quarantine.
It is.
And
sorry to interrupt you.
It's a problem. It's a problem. We need to get back as fast as we can safely do it.
It's one of those things where as an adult now, I look back on my prom and I'm like, oh, who gives a shit? It was a fine night. It was whatever, but it didn't have a major impact on my life. But in that moment, it's the most important thing in the world to you.
Yeah, if it got taken away.
Having that taken away from you is awful.
Yeah, and sports, and it's not just sports, kids that are into choir and debate team and all sorts of things. Those are experiences that you can't replace, and so they'll miss those. And it pales in comparison to the fact that you've still got your family around you and all of that. There's no question, but the educational experience is going to make them less competitive. I went to a dentist the other day for some minor things, and he's on the faculty of a major university with a dental school. And he said, let me tell you, you don't want to let a 2020 graduate touch you for about 10 years because we graduated them with very little experience.
Oh, wow.
That happened in the medical field as well, right? In doctors, like medical doctors, where it was, they wanted everyone to get out into the task force or be able to help. And they're like, go ahead.
No.
Yeah. No hands-on, no practicum, no, they just didn't have the experience. So that kind of scared me. I'm like, well, hell. Where else is that a factor?
Yeah.
Well, guess what, Dr. Phil? I haven't been to a doctor in 10 years, so I'll just keep that running. Well,
Make it 20.
I'll catch you guys
Make it 20
in 20
before
years.
you're safe. I don't want to put you on the spot too much here, but one of your contemporaries ran into some issues in the news with Ellen, and I feel like, without knowing what's going on behind the scenes, I feel like sometimes people might confuse, being very successful and being professional and sticking to their ways as like confused with mean or rude or whatever. But do you ever run into any issues like that? I mean, obviously you're a big star in your own right. Is there any concern with like, I have to treat interns or employees or younger members or junior members in a certain way so that I don't get slandered?
Well, it's lonely at the top. And, anytime you're the head of an organization, and, this isn't just restricted to entertainment, you've seen it in a lot of other areas too. You're going to get pot shotted a lot when you're at the top. And I don't know that I've ever even been on the Ellen show. She and I know each other, and we're very friendly with each other.
That's so awesome to be like, I'm not sure if I've been on the Ellen show.
Yeah, you would know if you don't.
That would be the highlight of some people's lives. You're like, I don't know, maybe I did it, maybe I didn't.
Well, it's been a lot of years. And
Yeah.
I don't know if I have been or not, but I don't remember anything about it if I have. So I can't really, and I'm not just ducking, I really don't have an opinion of what it's like over there. I have no idea. I know her, and we're very friendly with each other. She's been to my home. And
is it something you've been cognizant of, like in your own operation? Like, as time has gone on, maybe people have gotten a little more sensitive, or just the workplace has changed. Now you have to worry about people airing you out on the internet, or is it something that you've always just treated people the same way?
Well, you do always have to be cognizant of it. And we've got a situation at Dr. Phil where I've had the same executive producer for 19 years.
Wow.
Same supervising producers. Hell, I've had the same 7 cameramen since the day I started. Well, one of them passed away about a year and a half ago. It was a great guy, passed away. So I've got 6 of the 7 I started with. I've got the same director. I've got the same everybody. So we don't have a lot of turnover there. We've got a great.
Well, I think
pretty
that's
great testament to you. Yeah.
I mean, I think you're doing something right.
Well, let me tell you, I've got this great knack for getting these gigs where somebody does all the work and I get all the credit. And I'm the first one to admit it. One log won't burn. If they don't put somebody in front of me that's interesting, then I'm just sitting out there staring at the camera. I get it. So
yeah, but listen, you can put anybody out there, and if you don't interview them right or question them right, it's it's not the same. Don't sell yourself short, Dr. Phil.
Well,
if everybody could do it, they would. So.
Yeah, I got a good crew, though. I got the best crew in television. They work hard and do a good job, and I let them know it.
All right, well, that's why you're heading on to season 19, so everyone's looking forward to it. And as always, we appreciate the time, and thanks for the advice on the purely hypothetical situations.
Yeah, purely hypothetical.
Who do we like tonight, by the way? Texans.
What's that?
Who we like tonight in Texans Chiefs?
I got to go with the Chiefs.
Chiefs with the spread?
Pretty safe bet, I think, pretty much forever.
What is the spread?
9.
Oh, well, now that's a different
That's a big number. That's a big number.
It's going to be interesting this year with just everything.
That's a lot of points.
Yeah.
That's a lot of points for the first game, right?
Right, first game, but I think it's all thrown out the window, really. Where it's almost, like before big games, are like throw the record out the window. We're just the way every season has always started with just training camps and preseason games, and these guys haven't even tackled yet.
All out the window.
It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a point bonanza tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I was such a fine football player myself that I have great expertise in calling these things. I was the shittiest linebacker to ever play the game. So,
Dr. Phil, I find that very hard to believe. I've met you. You're a big boy.
Yeah,
you're a big daddy.
You can lay some wood.
Yeah. Yeah, but at least I was slow. I was big, but I was slow. That's the key.
I guess what? I'm slow and not that big either. So at
least you had one of the two.
You got one, yeah.
All right, Dr. Phil. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Dr. Phil.
Talk to you next time,
Daddy. You guys are a lot
Daddy.
of fun. Let's
Appreciate
do
it.
this again soon.
Anytime.
Anytime. I can't wait.
All right, see you
Good
later.
luck with the show. See you later.